Tonight on Sanity Lounge, we're joined by Katie Bollinger, Carroll County native, longtime NFL marketing pro, and reality TV alum from Love is Blind, Season 7. She's spent over a decade behind the scenes with the Baltimore Ravens and recently stepped into the spotlight to challenge perceptions and open up about love, loss, and life on camera. We also have guest host Amanda Davis from Path to Happy joining us. Let's get into it with Katie Bollinger. Professionals. All right, welcome Baltimore to another episode of Sanity Lounge. We are joined by, we have a very special guest today.
Yeah.
We have Katie Bollinger. She is, I just found out, a Carroll County native, so a lot of our listeners will love that.
Yeah, I love that.
We are also Carroll County natives.
So we're
Not
all great people here.
Yes,
and
that's
Amanda.
right. Yes.
And Amanda, yes.
Parkville in the house.
She is a longtime member of the Ravens front office and has most recently appeared on Season 7 of Love is Blind. We are also joined by my wife, Amanda, who's in for her second run, who is a nurse, a wellness specialist, and a relationship coach. And we are going to get into a lot. We have a lot to talk about. So
Yes, we do.
Let's get it going.
Yeah,
Who wants
Miss
to
Kate,
start?
nice
Yes.
to meet you.
So Carroll County.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm from Westminster. My family's still there. We live on a beef cattle farm.
Wait a
Nice.
minute.
Yeah.
Bollinger.
Of Bollinger's, where I eat crab cakes and stuff like that. No, that's Bullock's.
That's Bullock's.
Yeah.
Well, wait a
Also a
second.
great establishment.
Yeah.
incredible.
So, so you live on a cattle. Did you say cattle farm?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, beef
So
cattle farm.
I mean, it's all. So you probably know the Zeps.
Oh my! Christy's my best friend.
wow.
We grew up together. We're only like a month in age
Oh, I
difference.
worked for Doug Zepp. I worked for Douglas Lawn and Landscape
That's
in the
so
90s.
funny.
They
That
are
was the
my
best.
second mom and dad.
We
yeah.
graduated. We graduated with Gabe.
Right.
Like Dave Zepp.
Gabe, we used to get liquored up. Not Gabe. Gabe was
Yeah.
always good, but he would park cars for like when Dad had his
When
wild,
you had your he was the valet.
and Gabe would park cars, and I would park cars with Gabe.
Yeah,
I'd get
so-
liquored up, and he'd do really good. He
amazing.
was such a good guy.
Small world.
Doug's an amazing person.
That's so fun.
I
He
love them
beat
so
cancer
much.
too. Good for him. Like
Nice.
He's had a rough couple years, but he's good.
Good.
Small.
Good.
This is small.
world.
Oh my
Small
god! I had
crazy.
no idea.
So, Winter's Mill, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I graduated high school in 2006. So
Yeah.
it was only the second class to graduate from that
So
school. So I
w-
would have
yeah.
gone to Westminster. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, when we
Winter's Mill was a
graduated-
new one. Winter's Mill wasn't there
Wasn't
yet.
even there, yeah.
We're 93. I'm a 93 grad.
Right.
You're 94.
But that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I don't like, listen, I don't like
old.
talking about my age either.
I know, like, damn it.
Well, so Miss Kate,
Yeah, this is great.
so Miss Kate, did you in school was your goal in life to be the front office of a major sports team, or how does that come about?
So, short answer, no.
Right.
I wanted to work in sports. I knew that. I was more interested in broadcast. So, kind of what you guys are doing here was more what I was interested in.
Right.
And I went to Mount St. Mary's, so stayed
Yes.
close for school, played lacrosse at school, and did a couple of things there. But, ultimately, I knew more of a business route was going to be more of my venture. I think when you talk about getting up at 3 a.m. and doing your own hair and makeup and, you're writing your stories and you're filming them and you're cutting them and all of that stuff. And it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So I went more the business route. But Ravens, that was my first internship. So the summer before my senior year in college, I was at McDaniel at training camp working those practices.
Right, because
and-
they
yeah,
were
they
they
used
were
to have them there,
utilizing McDaniel
Yeah.
at the time.
Yep, those
Right.
kids running around in the Ravens polos, sweating
Right.
and looking crazy.
Yeah,
that
that's
was,
when you
that
could
was
just
me.
roll up there.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
just watch.
Yeah.
Can we not,
Yeah, go ahead.
like, skate over the fact that you played D1?
Yeah.
lacrosse?
No, I was going to get to that.
I need to say that.
I
out
was a
loud.
lacrosse
that
player in high
is-
school.
Love it.
I was decent.
Correct. This D1.
D1's
like, that
good.
is
yeah.
a commitment.
So did you go to Mount? Did you go on a scholarship?
Yeah. So academic and athletic. Mhm.
Wow.
From Winter's Mill.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
commitment.
And did you also swim?
No, so swimming is just something I do now because
Okay.
everything else hurts when
Right.
I work out.
It's a-
No,
Me and my sisters, we swam competitively growing up, so I had a really solid foundation.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
D1
Wow.
lacrosse. That's why.
Wow.
One of our son's best friends, Maddie, she got a scholarship to Concordia for lacrosse, right?
That's
I
fantastic.
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I know
She's good.
she's going to
she's
play.
13 years old,
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
But in
But that's what
lieu
she
of
does.
your
Yeah.
in lieu of your lacrosse bona fides, you just didn't vibe. You didn't want to be an athlete. You know.
Oh,
like,
what did you major in?
ultimately,
It?
Right.
Communications.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the broadcasting world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never played lacrosse. I don't even know
You played
what.
softball.
And soccer.
And soccer.
So let me
That's it.
ask you this.
That's it. Those were my things, and not really very good, actually.
Oh, I'm sure.
I
You're better
bet
than
you
you're giving
were
yourself
a-
I
credit.
was more of like a cheer.
I bet
for the
you were
people.
great at soccer. Like no?
I did a lot of bench sitting.
fullback.
I mean, I don't really know what you're insinuating.
No, I'm saying the fullbacks, kick the ball from one end to the other.
Yeah, I was thinking you were talking about like full back.
No.
Oh, okay.
So, Miss Kate,
Mm-hmm.
you're at McDaniel. How did you land this internship, and what does that look like? Are they're coming to the school, and do you apply for that, or is it luck? What is it?
How did I land it is a great question. I applied. I think at the time, my older sister was doing some stuff in their suites department. So I think she might have been like, hey, this is my sister, pull her resume. But beyond that, I had no skin in the game. Like, I remember the year I interned, let's say there was a class of 10 interns. Somebody's mom was the best friend to the assistant to Steve Bisciotti, or
Gotcha.
like somebody came from Florida State and got their undergrad and their master's, and they worked in the football program, and their head coach was best friends with John, and you know what I mean? Like, there's all
Sure.
these connections. So then I show up, and it was rumored that my dad had played in the NFL, and I just let that go. But eventually, once we had a couple drinks and really got
Yeah,
to know
right.
each other, I was like, my dad sells insurance.
You want to let that ride for a little bit
Yeah,
longer.
Yeah. So I must have just interviewed really well. I don't know. Somebody took a chance on me, and thank you. to
And
No,
then-
it's been 15. How long?
yeah,
15 season?
15 seasons. Yeah. Wow.
But then,
You have
so
a Super Bowl ring.
And I do. Yeah.
we'll get to that. So let me ask you this. So the first day on the job like that is what? Is it just like what does an intern at that level do? Or what are we talking here?
Yeah, for training camp, really early mornings. I think we started around like 5 a.m. and we were responsible for the fan zone. So I think you guys might be familiar
Yeah,
with
I remember
so
the fan zone.
all the tents and tables and the sponsor activations and the kids playing in the Gatorade junior training camp area. So we would bebop around, change jobs every day, but we were responsible for setting that up, running it, breaking it down. And then that's when we had 2 practices a day. So in the afternoon, we'd set everything back up, break it down, and probably by like 7, 8, 9, whatever o'clock we were getting out of there. And I'm sure there was about at least a dozen days of camp. Not sure exactly.
Yeah, you used to be rocking. it.
Yeah.
Remember
The
McDaniel?
McDaniel, yeah.
But you would, you'd go to the stadium and do a big practice there. You'd work. I stayed on for game day because being at the Mount, I was so close. So then I worked every home game, and that was setting up and breaking down Ravens Walk, and then also the halftime show, the quarterback challenge or whatever
so
it was
fun.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I mean,
So
yeah,
fun.
I'll never forget the first time like walking out at the stadium when it's filled with like 72,000 people, just feeling that energy. Like
Wow.
it's
It's
So
gotta
that
be.
would probably be the moment that you were like, well, this is what I'm doing.
yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Or like the first player that comes up and like shakes your hand and introduces themselves, and it was Mark Clayton, and he's like,
That
"Hi,
was
I'm
the first
Wow,
player.
that's fun.
He's like, "Hi, I'm Mark," and I'm like, "I'm Katie."
So that was the first player you met?
That's the first one I remember. Like that. It was so casual for him to be like, "Hi, I'm Mark. Nice to meet you."
So I
fun.
did work in
That's
Mark
awesome.
Clayton's all 3 of his house, because when he first got here, he had an apartment like in Owings Mills, and I installed like his home theater stuff. Like I
very
used
cool.
to do that for Tweeter. That was a while ago.
Oh yeah.
And then he moved into a townhome right like on Lakeside. What's it called? Lakeside.
Yeah.
So I moved everything from his apartment to there, set it up, and then he bought a house like on Deer Park Road, and I went there, and that's where I got to play him in Madden.
Nice.
So that was cool.
That's a
Mark
cool
Clayton
story.
was one of the nicest people I've ever met. He was awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So it's that kind of that's what an internship would look like at that level.
Oh,
at
it's
that
manual
time.
labor,
right?
you
it's,
know,
it's
like-
you're paying your dues, if you will.
Totally.
It's
And it's got to be intense.
the summer heat, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of fan interaction, and no, I loved it. I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like,
Right.
I want to carry tents my whole life.
So how does that translate to?
Where did you go from there?
Yeah, so then that was okay. Now we're fast forwarded to the spring of 2010. That's when I graduated.
Right.
I worked a summer in DC promoting the Legg Mason Tennis Classic.
Huh.
I think the tournament still exists. It's just a different sponsorship, and that was very grassroots. So I learned DC very quickly. Would go to just pop-up events, like it could be like a Mystics game or the Washington Castles, that's still a thing. It would be like a huge parking lot, and the next day would pop up like a tennis venue. We'd work those things, and I had a life-size cutout of Andy Roddick that I just carried around. Like I'd be on like, they're like Metro and like me and Andy and like these pamphlets, and I'd come knocking on your business. Can I leave this here? Great, here's 2 tickets. Surprise.
I got you. So you got a real passion for it, and that's incredible.
I love random things. And then the biggest part about all of that, which was really cool. So when that finished, my next opportunity, I actually moved to New Orleans.
Wow.
So I lived in New Orleans for a year, and I worked for the NBA team down there, which now the Pelicans, but it was the Hornets at the time.
Yeah, I read that.
Now you're on the payroll, or it's an internship?
Yep, all these internships have been paid.
Gotcha. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now I think it was minimum wage back there was $5.25, but yeah,
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Still though, intern, and paid usually doesn't go together.
Yeah,
but
so-
that's good.
Insane.
Yeah,
packed
that's
up,
awesome.
went to New Orleans, had never been there before, knew no one, but I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. Pretty sure my family, I know my mom thought I was crazy, and she was
Right.
worried to death every day for me, but loved it.
How long were you there?
A year,
One
a
year.
season. Mm-hmm.
One season.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And if you don't mind me asking, the year you went there, what age are you? Like,
I'm 22.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
So
Brian,
it is-
Brian cannot do math, so don't worry
I'm
about him trying
terrible
to
with
figure
math,
it out.
but right, right. Like if somebody's like, "She told you when you graduate," and I can't
Oh, God,
do
no,
that.
no.
Wait a minute.
But that being said, because I was just thinking, for a mother, to leave the state, go to a place like
Yeah.
New Orleans that is notorious for being nutty but wonderful,
Right.
it's got to be hard,
Wow.
and it's also gutsy for you at that age. I mean, you didn't have a man or a friend or anybody you went with. You went down there by yourself.
lived with people that I was interning with. We didn't even know each other. We got a place and
Where,
didn't even,
on Bourbon Street? She's like, I went to the French Quarter or something.
we just rolled up, found a spot.
Right.
But
Oh
no,
my gosh,
it
that's so
was
fun.
it was amazing. It all worked out. And if we weren't working basketball games, we were doing like part-time stuff like as extras in movies and stuff because the movie industry was really
Right.
booming down there. And I had another part-time job in retail, and it was a grind, but I loved every day. And it was when we had like Chris Paul was still there and Monty Williams was the head coach. So it was an exciting time to be a Hornets fan.
Wow.
So was that just between football seasons? Or did you completely leave the Ravens to go there
Yes,
and then came back?
Yep, the Ravens was training camp and the season. So then when the season ended, that opportunity was done. But,
Right.
I still kind of kept in touch with them. And what ended my time in New Orleans was a lockout. So
Oh, okay.
Oh.
the NFL had already been locked out.
Right.
Then the NFL was first, then NBA.
Right.
So it was one day I'm coming in, I'm doing stuff in the office, I'm getting my end of season review type of thing. And then the next day it's like, hey, you're unemployed.
wow.
It's kind of wild.
Wow.
As like part-time people, full-time we're
Right.
fine. But
Right.
so that left a big old question mark, like, what's going on? We're going to do here. So I moved back home, kept the retail job, just went to a different location and was constantly, connected with the Ravens. Hey, this is what I've been up to. Really cool things. Would like love an opportunity with you guys as your full-time season
Right.
intern. So there's a lot of internships in this world, a lot of bouncing around.
Right.
And that's a funny story too. I applied all summer long, and it was a random Tuesday in August when the NFL lockout was lifted, and I get the phone call. They're like, "Hey, 8 a.m. tomorrow, job's yours."
That's
See you there."
awesome.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm like, I accept.
Guess I'm
Right.
showing up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
That's
great.
crazy.
Wow.
Because I'm sure, I
Yeah,
I
'cause
can't
they
imagine how many people were gunning for that job.
And they probably knew, like they probably read your resume, or maybe they knew you from the past or
Right.
whatever, and
Yeah.
had it already locked, but they couldn't tell you until the day it opened.
and
Right.
there was multiple phone calls. I kind of felt like they were just like calling to check in to be like, hey, like without saying it, we're still interested. But, tell me a time when you had to deal with conflict at the workplace.
Right.
And then projects and things like that. But no, it was all just like a waiting game. But I did always kind of feel confident about it. But yeah, and then the rest is history. I do that season as a full-time intern, and then became a full-time coordinator that May. There was a position that opened up very much in my role and realm of responsibilities.
Like when you're saying coordinator, that insinuates the stuff you're doing, like the tent putting up on Ravens Walk and stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's like part-time intern, full-time intern coordinator. So you finally are like done internships, full-time employment.
You're in charge of the people that are setting the stuff up.
And
you don't have to set it up?
I get to boss other people around.
And you know the whole game from the inside out because you spent so many years doing it that you're the right one to do it, and it makes perfect sense. Okay, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you had a look on your face?
I was just thinking about how much I loathe interview processes. Because have you ever taken an interview?
Have I ever done a fucking interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, I'm like.
Have you ever done an interview?
Power design. That was the multiple phone calls. Like I talked to 3 different people over a course of like 2 weeks, and it was very stressful because they were asking me like on the spot questions, and that, as you know, is not my
cannot
wheelhouse.
handle that.
It's not his forte.
It's not. Yes.
But I handled it.
Now keep in mind,
Can you tell me a time when you've had to manage something that was frustrating?
Right, and he's like,
Right.
Wait, what? Me?
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a project that you worked on that was successful?
Yeah. No, I actually handled it. I did get the job though.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
it was nowhere near what we're talking
The
with.
rigor.
No.
Facility.
Right. So, but we're still running through this timeline.
Yeah.
Because you became the boss of the interns,
Essentially.
the event space. So then, how do you just keep moving through the organization, and now you are the fan development and marketing manager.
Yep. So a lot of the same responsibilities I've had kind of as an intern. It's changed. So I came in, it was very branding, advertising heavy. So a lot of I was working with the guys at 98 Rock and our flagship stations and WBAL TV. So I was doing the news appearances with Jen Franciotti and that was really cool because again, I wanted to do broadcast. So everything kind of came full circle. Wow. So I was happy to take that off of somebody else's hands. And then I have always overseen our women's marketing strategy. So, 15 years ago, it looked very different than what we're doing as an organization today. So it's really cool to see how that program has grown and evolved and kind of kept up with the ages and the different demographics that we're engaging with. So, I've done promotional items. I've used the come to the game and you get a flag or lanyard or hat or something like that. I guarantee it came from me and our creative team and overseas production or domestic or whatever it was at the times and licensing trademarks.
And you have a run of company. If you have an idea for a marketing thing, walk me through what that looks like. Do you have to keep it within the purview of stuff you've done already, or do you, if you have a fresh new idea, how much of a pain, or can you do that, or is it a pain in the ass?
No, you totally can. I think to speak to that is back in about 2018 was the first time we really engaged with a celebrity fan. And I mean, you always have Michael Phelps around or, the legends come back and your big names. But it was an opportunity that we worked with Rudy Gay in the preseason because he was promoting one of his basketball camps downtown. Nice. And he came to a preseason game and he was represented by Rock Nation. And whoever was there at the time, we kind of just swapped information and some ideas back and forth. And that was the year that we clinched playoffs. So actually with CJ retiring, all these clips are circulating now. That's the game I'm talking about when the interception and, we sent both the Browns and the Steelers home that day. But we were pumped. We hadn't made playoffs in 3 or 4 years. And I sent, the newspaper clips to him and some koozies. And I get a video sent to me. He put up on social with his kids running around with the koozies on his hands and they're throwing the papers and they're excited. Nice. And I'm like, guys, I think we have something here. So kind of explain what I was thinking about it. This celebrity strategy and influencer wasn't really a word used back then, but that's essentially what I was trying to develop. My SVP is amazing. He's like, if you have an idea and we can get behind it, let's do it. So I put a plan and a budget and, that was born, and really that project took off because you've got COVID in between, which you can't really develop a ton of relationships over COVID. But 21 to where we are now, it's so cool to kind of see the influencer and celebrity universe that we've been able to create in this space.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
but
good
it's
stuff.
like, it's great that you get an idea, but to have a team that is supportive and, a front office that believes in you, and that trickles down from owner to team president, all the way down, because not everybody's like that.
Right. I was going to say, not all teams are. I mean, I think they say the Ravens is a great organization, and I think it is.
Top to bottom. It seems like they are who they say they are.
Sure.
Yeah.
You swap stories with people that you meet through conferences or whatever, and like sometimes I just like keep my mouth shut.
Sure.
Because I'm like, we have it really good here.
Right.
So, I mean, the good
amazing.
thing about your job is
Yeah.
I feel like you're not really behind the scenes. You're kind of like the face, and you're out there.
I get to do a little bit of both.
Right.
I get to do a little bit of both. Yeah.
I was hoping to see you
Yeah.
last Wednesday?
It was last Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 11th. Is that what the
Yes.
date was? I got to come to practice.
No
So that
way.
was really
She
fun.
was one of the nurses that
I got to be a nurse guest. Yes.
See,
it
if
was
we would
really
have been able to
fun.
do this before, I would have come and hung out with you.
Oh, I know. I said to Davis, I'm like, I'm going to keep my eyes
Well,
open.
no, I was
Yeah.
going to message
Yeah.
you, but then it got canceled because they
It
said if
did.
it rained,
It
it was
rained.
supposed to be
Yeah.
like
We had
2
a
weeks
rain date.
before, and
Yeah.
they canceled it, and then I kind of.
Yeah.
Then I didn't know it got rescheduled, and then
Yeah.
you just went.
It was very,
Yeah.
very last minute. They emailed me on, I honestly, I feel like it was a Monday, and they were like, practice is back on Wednesday. Hope we see you there. And I was like, oh my gosh.
But I was
like,
thinking, I was like,
to figure it
that's
out.
probably you. I was like, that's probably Katie. She's probably part of that situation.
I don't know. I don't know, but it was fun and we had a good time and there were lots of people there and I don't know.
That's
we
our
just-
community
yeah.
team probably, and
Okay.
they work so
Okay.
hard, so hard for the team and the Baltimore and that's so cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. We had a good time and there were probably about I want to say like maybe 15 of us that were there and it was a good time. So
I think I saw the recap on the community Instagram page.
Yeah, they kept making us like get together to take pictures. They were like, you have to come over here to take a picture. We're like, okay, let's go.
It wasn't a
do this.
mandatory practice. Lamar wasn't there.
I know there was no Lamar, no flowers. I feel like, but we had a good time, and the guys were so gracious. Like at the end, they will. You're not allowed to step over the line. There's like a line. It's imaginary, by the way.
Right.
It's not an actual line because I kept getting yelled at. But
Do you know
anyway.
this line?
Yeah.
it just makes it just sounds something we would say. Stay behind this line. You can't see it, but it exists.
It's like what? How am I getting in trouble? Yeah, we weren't allowed to cross over the line, but the players were coming over, and I have a very favorite. I should have brought it. I can't believe I didn't think about it. I have a very favorite Ravens hat that we were given as a giveaway one time, and it's my favorite. And we actually have a matching one.
It's the Charm City hat.
It is the Charm
You
City
probably
hat.
had to do with
Is it
that.
the purple one?
Yeah. That was from a while ago.
It was. I feel like it was a preseason game that we went to, but it is.
It was a
black.
preseason.
It's
It's
black, but the
and it-
stitching's purple.
The
Yeah,
stitching
it
is
says Charm
purple,
City.
and it is one of
Yeah.
my most favorite hats ever. And I'm a major hat wearer. Like I
she's
almost
a
wore a
hat.
hat. I am. I wear hats all the time. And
I know exactly where that came from.
Love that hat. And he has the same one, but he tries to wear mine, and I don't want him to because he's going to mess it up. And my stitching has like a little imperfection in it, so I know it's mine.
know.
Exactly. And I'm always like, don't wear my hat. So now I got some of the guys to sign it for me because I wore it the other day. So
And they're the greatest.
It was so
Yeah.
fun. They were like, they had their little silver pens that would show up, and they came over and signed hats and signed. There were kids there, and they were like signing balls and jerseys. And one of the people I was with had like them sign her watch. Like she was like, I don't have anything else for you to sign. Can you sign my watch? They were just signing her watch.
funny.
Like it was really cute, but it was a nice time. It really was. So we were happy to be there. It was nice to have that invite. You know?
Yeah.
And you had a little lunch.
We did. We had some good lunch. It was nice. Yeah. It was a fun time.
So as you're rocking the head of marketing when a Super Bowl season comes along, how exciting does that get? I mean, like, talk to me about the juggernaut of emotions.
So 2011
Yeah.
was the year, and I was at the game in Foxborough where we had the Billy Cundiff kick, Lee
oh
Evans
my
drop.
gosh.
So that was my intern year.
Wow.
So you are planning as if I think the Super Bowl was going to be in Indy that year. So you're planning like you're going to Indianapolis.
Right.
And it just stops. And now that's my first experience in the world professionally of like, this is amazing, we're going to go to Super Bowl, and then it just stops. So that was like really getting the wind taken out of you.
Right. That was one of the worst of all time.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, I can imagine,
Yeah.
but being like there, like it's experiencing it different. Being a fan and an employee.
And just to hover,
Like, you're
hover
like,
there, a guy I work with, Walt, shout out Walt
Right.
Lath, he took off work and took a bus to New England to see the game. He was so excited, and he's texting us all game. And man, Cundiff, I mean, it was just devastating. So, okay, that was your first.
So then you've got 2012, the next season. You know, you make the playoffs. This is Ray Lewis's last year. We beat the Colts at home. Me and some of my girlfriends that worked for the team, we called ourselves the Road Warriors. We went up to Pittsburgh and beat the Steelers. And then now we're going back to Foxborough. So we're like, all right, Road Warriors we're in, we're dedicated, we're going to do this. And to win there was the coolest thing. Like I have the videos of us, of course we were like closer to God than the field.
Sure.
And we're racing down
It was a hot ticket. Right. It was
we were racing down the ramps with like tears in our eyes, like just to be down like close to everybody and like to let them know we were there in the high five. I'm coming off the field, and we have these pictures with us like literally tears in our eyes, just like joy and so happy, and packed up the car and drove back to the facility that night, slept in the graphics office, a couple of us, because we knew we had like a 8 a.m., 9 a.m. meeting the next morning. So we're like running. I mean, you're young, you're excited, you're running on adrenaline, nobody cares. I can sleep on the floor and my back won't break.
Yes.
But yeah, and then you head down to New Orleans, and again, our organization's fantastic. It was myself and a plus one was included for the chartered flight and the hotel and all the accommodations and a welcome party, tickets to the game, a post-game party. But then you had the opportunity to purchase X amount of additional tickets. The family overflow, they had a hotel for that. So like my family drove down and got to do all of that with me and be at the game with me.
So let's hover there. Super Bowl in New Orleans. It's your city. You used to rock New Orleans. So
only like 2 years removed.
Right, So what were you in your young mind like, this is fate?
God.
It's destiny.
Yeah.
Like
Serendipity.
Totally.
Yeah, right.
Serendipity.
You know, the story was about Ray, and the story was about Ed Reed and Jacoby coming back to New Orleans. But what they forgot was there's a special place for me too.
Katie's return to New Orleans.
Right. No one heard of the better story.
It was it was the coolest thing. And I mean, the first night we got down there, like a bunch of my friends that we worked together in the Hornets were still down there. We all went out. I drank way too much because I was responsible for like the media row stuff and getting the cheerleaders on Good Morning America the next day. And we roll the bus up to the French Quarter. We're late. And like, they're like, you got to move the bus. And I'm like, actually, that looks really good right there. That branding is fantastic. And it was like Emerald and Tim McGraw interviewing our cheerleaders with the bus in the background. And the producers are freaking out. And I'm like, no, I think it's really good right there.
You're feeling all loose and stuff from the night before.
I'm like, oh my God.
So like, you had mentioned Reporters Row, or what did you say? What's it called?
Media Row.
Media Row. And I've heard tell that's kind of like an exhausting run of like full day coverage, right? I mean,
For sure.
It's like an entire day of nothing but obnoxious coverage.
Yeah.
So as somebody there, like, you don't have to deal with that the whole time, right?
No, and our organization kind of had the role of like, we don't want you to work. Like, you guys have busted your butts all season. We want you to enjoy this with your friends and family.
Ravens,
that's
I know.
What the hell?
I'm in the wrong business.
And me running around and doing that stuff, like, I'm getting paid, but that's not work. That's crazy. Like, this is fun.
Right.
But yeah, there was very little work, leading up. Oh my God, yeah. But once we got there, I think that was, there was a couple of us that took turns with the media stuff, and that was my morning. And some people were selected to kind of work a pop-up retail shop. I also had a job of, you hear about like bowl games, you get all these crazy prizes. Well, Super Bowl games like that as well. A lot of teams will do gifting. So players and staff, so hard to knock on your door and hand you a new iPad and a backpack and swag, what a terrible day for me.
You said, this is so awful.
I'm like the New Orleans Santa Claus,
I know.
Everything
That's
was great.
Awesome.
It was great.
So do you remember what you thought when the lights went out?
Good question, Woe Davis.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh.
Luckily, we were in like the lighted part, so you noticed. But I never went like danger. I never anything like that. I instantly went like, Beyonce, she blew a fuse like instantly in my brain because I was like, this whole performance just happened, and I know like the logistics and everything from work, and I'm like, yeah, she just blew a fuse.
Yeah, right.
That's all my brain went. But listen, if I was in the bathroom, if I would have been in a control room, I would have been like, the world's ending.
Yeah,
you know.
Wow, I forgot about that till right now.
Oh yeah, it was insane.
Yeah,
how long? It was like 13 minutes or something.
It was a minute.
Maybe
I mean, it was a while because that was the problem was we were whipping ass, and then everybody kind of got cold because
that was my second thought, and then my third thought was like, okay, we have a party to get to, and like, you're really like crashing my party time.
Right.
Let's go.
That's hilarious.
Time to win and party.
So, okay, so describe that. Like you're in the building when it hits and the Ravens win. Ray Lewis makes the stop at the end. It's fucking mind blowing. What does that feel like from an organizational standpoint?
I know, and like here I'm spoiled because it's like my second season essentially, and I'm looking
around,
and I've got coworkers who like now I've definitely paid my dues because I thought we were gonna do that every year. Right. I'm like, we're gonna come back see next year,
hilarious, right?
And obviously it's been some time.
Sure,
it's coming.
But what was really cool is, like I'm sitting with my sister and her fiance at the time. My uncle was there. My mom and my dad are behind us, and my mom's no longer with us. And it's like to think back on those moments, it's like that was so cool that I got to share that with them. And that meant the world because here are the people that raise you, that support you, that love you with their whole heart. And like, the time just kind of stops, and you're like telling yourself, be present, enjoy this. I maybe have like 3 photos from that night. Because that's not what I was worried about.
That's the way it
that
always
means you had
goes.
a good time. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way it always goes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like it's making me like a little teary eyed because it's like I love this idea of like the behind the scenes or like all the other people that are involved. Like you just don't think about it.
Right.
Like you're watching the players or you're thinking about that, but like all of the stuff that goes on behind it and what that means to people, and just those moments of those memories. Like that's
and
just
we hover on good vibes and
I'm
Wheel, we need tissues.
By the way, watch out.
Wheel,
This is me
tissues.
all the
No,
time.
That's all right.
we dig on good vibes and stuff like that, and like that's good stuff.
I
Like
love
the
that.
Yeah, that's
organization,
great
you
stuff.
have to be thankful for the organization because who the hell gets discounted tickets like? Of a caliber like that. Like they don't have to do that. They
not
can
at
do
all.
that for a +1,
Yeah.
but to offer it for families and stuff, it's fucking,
Amazing.
Yeah,
it really
really
is.
cool.
Yeah. And
On
be able to
a
just have
weird
those
tangent
moments.
level, I worked at a place called Captain Harvey's, and it was there for many years, and Tara McGregor, or no, I'm sorry, it's not Tara McGregor. We went to school with Tara. I can't remember her last name. It's Tara Marshall. Harvey Marshall's niece married Steve Bisciotti's son, Jason.
Okay.
And so Tara is now a Bisciotti.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Awesome.
But
You never told. I didn't know that.
yeah. When Tiger's niece married Jason, is that his name? I think that's his name. Yeah, and they have 3 kids. Or
wow.
whatever. Yeah, but
Again,
you
small
know,
world.
I just threw out there because I didn't know if you knew Tara because she seems to always be.
I'm sure we've passed.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
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 It's interesting.
All right, so let's take a weird turn here.
Let's do it.
So as the Ravens organization, you're rocking, everything's going, how does reality TV come into play? And
This is the moment I'm waiting for. No, go ahead.
and how does the organization react if they did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me take you. Okay, we're going to fast forward now and also rewind at the same time. We're going to
Yeah.
go to April 2023. So that's when I applied for the show. I had seen, because Love is Blind casts in cities. So it's not like The Bachelor who casts like
Right.
this wide net. You have to be in this area. So in that fall, I had seen that they were doing a Love is Blind DC. I just want to preface that I really do not watch reality TV. Like I'm not in the Bravo shows, like all that stuff. I really don't, but I love Love is Blind. Like,
Okay, I was gonna say,
believe
did you
in Love
watch
is
the
Blind.
show before
Oh my
you
God,
watched it? Okay.
religiously.
Yeah.
Loved it. Thought it was genius.
Pretend like
Speak
I'm
up.
dumb.
Speak.
The same. I don't watch anything else.
For
I
the
don't
audience-
watch any
for the
Bravo.
audience-
I don't watch any of it. Just Love is Blind. Like
For the audience at home that doesn't know the show, tell us the concept.
Okay, so it's a Netflix show. They just wrapped season 7. or sorry, 8. 9 will be in the fall. And the premise of the show is you're starting with 15 guys, 15 girls, and you are dating behind a wall. So they call it the pods. You can hear just like how we hear each other right now, but it's blind dating. And the premise is like, can you fall in love with someone by getting to know them and sight unseen? And you have to get engaged behind a wall before you get this big reveal. Mm-hmm. And at that reveal is when you exchange the actual ring. But that's the first time you are seeing them.
And it's illegal. And that's illegal. And you have to get engaged. Like you're in.
I mean, they get down on one knee. Like it's a proposal.
Well, they propose in the pod.
So
then once you get to actually see each other is when they get down on one knee to get the ring.
I got you.
But you've already made that commitment that you're proposed and they say yes, and that's why you get to see each other.
Yes.
And over the season, continue.
So in 7, you were in season 7, where it was nowhere. This is the first season they've had in like the DC, Baltimore area.
Correct.
Yep.
And you were a fan of the show,
Yeah.
so you're watching it, and then all of a sudden, like, how did you find out they were auditioning?
So that fall it was up, and I opened it up, and it was like 100 questions, and I was like, I just don't feel like doing this right now. That's silly. Like they'd never pick me, whatever. So fast forward to April, it's open again. My birthday's the end of April. I'm in Fort Lauderdale with some of my girlfriends celebrating my birthday, and I think I'm about to turn 35. And it's one of these things. It's like I feel like I've been doing the same thing for about 10, 12 years in life. Like essentially, when I moved back home, got in with the Ravens. Like I've been living downtown. The same job. Essentially, like everything is just kind of like the same. It's great, but it's just the same. So I just really needed to switch it up. So
change your rhythm.
Yeah. So my one girlfriend, it was the last morning of vacation, and she's like, "We're doing this today." And I'm like, "All right, I'm only doing this if we all sit down." So we went to rooftop bar, had some drinks, sat there, did it on her phone, took a video real quick, submitted it. It was like a day party's going on in the background. I'm like, I don't even think they can hear me. Send. I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, yeah,
so
okay.
you had to speak. You had to fill out a form and speak.
It's like about 100 questions online, and then do
How
a quick
long
little
did it-
video
how
like
long?
why you need to be on Love Is Blind or
A minute,
something.
2 minutes?
A minute, but mine was
Just a
like, "What's up, Love Is Blind?
Right.
My name's Katie, and everything I'm doing is wrong, so pick me." Essentially, yeah. Like when people want to know how did you get on, I'm like, I'll show you the video, like one take.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's wild.
What's going on, Love Is Blind? So I want to find love in the pods because all the things I'm doing aren't working. I want to take away all of the extra factors because I know I'm going to find a man that will love me for who I am. And I'm excited to start that journey.
And you know what's crazy is though, so what is it, Jagged Edge, the "Meet Me at the Altar." It's playing in the background at the day party when I do that video.
Really?
Yes. How
That's
crazy is
serendipity.
that?
That was
Also,
serendipity.
Follow the rhythm. Follow the
I
rhythm.
just realized that a
I'm
couple
telling
months ago. So anyway.
Wow.
Follow the
It's
rhythm.
huge.
We're all about
It's huge. We
serendipity
are.
and following the rhythm.
Our
love it.
friends got married, and their hashtag for their wedding was "Meet Me at the Stalter" because their last name is Stalter.
Good for them.
And it
Shout
was
out
in
Owen.
reference to Owen and
Good for
Lauren to
them.
that song,
Yeah.
like "Meet
Awesome.
Me at the Stalter."
So I'm back home. I'm in Baltimore. I'm grocery shopping. It's a Monday. I look down and I'm getting a phone call. I don't know the number, but like a name pops up, right? So you like Google the name really quickly, and it's a casting company. And I'm like, oh my God, what?
this isn't a
Like, no way.
coincidence.
So I call her back like the next day because I was like, okay, this is weird. And she had a couple questions when to set up an interview and kind of get the process rolling. So it happened right away. And it's a lengthy process. And I think the first couple things you had to do, you're sending a ton of pictures and videos, and they put together like an hour-long interview with you and someone from, I think, either casting or Netflix. No, for casting. And they ask you a ton of questions, and it's just like a Zoom. And you got to sit there and kind of like sell yourself. And they come on to tell you like, okay, hair's good, makeup's good, outfit's good, lighting, okay, change that, turn that on, whatever.
Oh, wow. All right.
So it's pretty cool because they want to package it. And they put that together with your photos and videos for the producers.
Right.
Because when they sit down and they're essentially playing matchmaker, that's what they're using as a reference.
Curious about,
So then you get your contract, and you're going through all of that to make sure, like, okay, how do I get sued? How do I not get sued?
Right.
Like, what's going on? And then for a time reference, by end of June, we needed the okays from our employers to go. So it's filming in October, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
You guys know what's going on in
Right,
October,
right,
like
right.
football.
Yeah.
Right.
And we needed to
That's
commit.
serious football.
Yes, we needed to
the hell on.
commit 3 weeks to be completely off the radar. So the way Love Is Blind films is you're 3 weeks gone. So that's pods. That's like the Mexico trip or whatever. But when you come back, then you go back to normal life. So you can go back to work. You can get your phone back, like all of that stuff.
And
So
possibly come back married.
yeah, planning a wedding.
Yeah, you
Engaged.
buried the
Wedding.
lead there.
Engaged.
You come back engaged.
Yeah. Come
back
Okay,
engaged.
okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the schedule comes out normally like the second week of May, and that night I'm like, okay, because I went into the same SVP he's amazing. Went into his office and I'm like, listen,
What is SVP?
Senior Vice President
Okay.
of Marketing, and I'm like, this is probably going to be the weirdest conversation we've ever had, and there's been some weird ones, but this is what's on the table. And he said, listen, I want to, work with you on this. If we have at least 2 of 3 away games, we can probably make this work. 3 games would be like, okay. Because it's just like the production, like you need to be there for game day. It's like really difficult to miss a game day in this industry. And the schedule comes out and we are away Browns, away Steelers, away in London.
Serendipity. Wow.
Every time I talk about it, I
Baby.
still get cold chills because it was
Wow.
so cool. Like that doesn't happen that often.
Right.
Right, in London, I don't think have we only played there one other time, or was that the time?
And when we go to London, like the whole week is quiet, right?
Right.
Because they pick up and leave, and then like the staff eventually, So I'm like, oh my God, we can make this work. So then we did that. There's again more compatibility quizzing, and you do like
at
psych it
that
out.
moment, were you like feeling like from a love angle, or if you will, were you like, were you feeling more like, hey, I might really find somebody because of that kind of the serendipity?
You guys, I'm woo woo too. So
Me
this
too,
whole
yeah.
time, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, there's way too many things happening
Right,
here.
that's what
like
I'm saying, right.
and
The
that's-
universe is
Yes,
telling me
yes.
this is what I need to do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was bought in at that time. If you would have asked my friends were 100% in from day one. I'm
Right.
like, I don't know. But then stuff like that would happen. And I'm like, okay, now that work's on board and we can
Right.
make this work, like it got weird.
Right,
It
the
just felt
signs,
weird.
right? It
Right.
feels
Right.
right.
But I think, I guess it had to be like, this is cool for the team also.
Well, and that's what I thought,
could be,
especially as somebody
right.
who does their influencer
Yeah.
marketing and celebrity strategy. I'm like,
because I'm going to talk about what I do for a living.
Right.
I'm like, I think there's a lot of really cool avenues here
Yeah.
and new we can bring to the fan development. Let me develop these fans. Come
Right.
on. And we didn't know it at the time, but Netflix and the NFL have a 3-year deal. We were the Christmas game on Netflix last year.
Right.
There's just like all my worlds are coming together. So
Well, that's what I was sitting there
crazy.
thinking. I'm like, ideally, you're actually ahead of the game because football is going to streaming services, and
Yeah.
it's going to be Netflix. So you
Right.
already
So cool.
have a little bit of an in the Netflix world, or you know what that looks like a little bit, so you could help the team. That's-
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know how many applications they get?
Thousands.
Great
Thousands.
Yeah, thousands. And
Really?
it's applications, and then they also recruit people. So like you could get a message on LinkedIn or Instagram. Like they have people that are actively like recruiting.
And you also said, to go back to something you said about them playing matchmaker. So are they actively looking, because this is what I've always suspected, but I have no idea. So are they looking at people and thinking like, we should bring this person in because they might actually make a connection with this person? Like, how does that work?
I believe so, yeah. I think another part of the process was there was an extremely lengthy compatibility questionnaire, right? Like so many things, like what are, how do you value all these things, rank them in life? Like what are your non-negotiables? Were you looking for a partner to like the millionth degree? It was crazy. It took me like 3 nights to complete it. And then everything else that you just said. And that's another reason why I was like, this is legit. Like they want people, they want success stories. Like
Yeah,
they're not
See.
looking for people to just be like characters. Like there really is, the executive producers are brilliant. I have nothing negative to say about them. I think it is a science. Like it works.
There's rigor there. It's validity.
Well,
like
what about
it's,
the stat as far as like the marriages?
I
that
mean,
come out of
people
that?
seem to stay together. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's recently been some knowledge of some couples breaking up. But to be honest with you, I suspected that anyway.
Yeah, and it could work.
Just
I think
saying.
the success
Yeah.
rate is like 1 or 2 right now a season, which doesn't sound great
As I
when you're
said, like
looking
one
at
a season, even one or
Yeah.
two. But still think about that. Like that's remarkable.
Okay, so
especially in today's dating culture. Like,
but so
let's be real.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's remarkable. I think one out of 15 couples potentially, you're having one couple that is successful, and we're having like Love Is Blind babies, and
Right.
that's amazing.
But
like,
so
I
you
think it's
guys
cool.
are saying that you dig the show. The reason that the show spoke to you and you, because I know you, is because you think it's a genuine. It's not a
Right.
a shitty reality show where they're
It's not
trying to
Temptation
make
Island.
people right.
That show
I was gonna
stresses
not
me out.
call
to make
anybody
people
out, but it
upset.
does
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems more of a
Or
genuine.
it's not like a
concept.
Bachelor world where you've got one guy and 30 girls or whatever.
Right.
The
And they're
math
like
is.
Right,
fighting
right.
for the same guy, right?
So
And
to that,
it's not based on appearance.
well, right,
At all.
That's the beauty of
which is
it.
genuine, right? That goes back to
It's
the
based
dating
on
game type
compatibility
vibe.
and conversation,
Right.
which
Which
is
historically, and that's a phenomenal point, if you think about it from a cultural perspective, we've always been very interested in that in this
Right.
world. The dating
dating
game is a
game, behind
great
the
example.
wall,
you
yeah,
know, I mean,
right.
even think back to the day of AOL and when we were in
God,
rooms
yeah.
and
Yep.
we're talking to people online and you don't know what people look like and maybe you're sending a picture, maybe, but back
Right.
then like the technology wasn't there, you know, so you're just picking up on these vibes of people and it's like, wow, I feel a connection
And
with this
through voice
person.
alone and
Yeah.
stories and connections.
Yeah.
So okay, you get on the show. Let's talk about.
There's all this testing, there's all this behind the scenes, and you complete all this stuff, and then what happens?
So it's the around Labor Day weekend, and I remember getting like a text from my main girl in casting, and she's like, "Hey, just to give you a heads up, you're going to be hearing from this person. This is your producer. It is very real. It's not somebody trying to like scam you or anything. Just she'll be in touch with next steps." But she's like, "Congratulations," and I'm like,
Right.
okay. And I'll never forget that phone call because I was like, she's like, yeah, you're going to the pods. And I'm like, no, really, like, because the whole time they're very much like, we can take this away from you. Or like, it could just like, we go hard the next day, like, hey, sorry, this is
We reserve the right to just shut it down.
So even
Right.
like if you think you have a flight on the next day, like we could say, hey, don't get on that plane type
Right.
of thing. So that was like the mentality. So when somebody's finally saying, and I'm like, no, like, are you really, really sure? So yeah. And I think you had about, it wasn't even quite 2 weeks, maybe like 10 days to get ready for everything, all your packing. And they give you everything that you need to know. They're great about all
Right.
of that. And you get your ticket, and it was a Sunday morning flight out of BWI and into LA, and the rest is kind of history. Yeah.
So it's not even, it doesn't even happen in DC.
No, so the pods
What do
pods
I
are
know?
out in California
Oh
somewhere.
my gosh. Wow. Okay, so
Where,
in
like
my brain,
Burbank
for
or
some
something?
reason, I was thinking you were just like in DC. I don't know why.
Well,
but,
because
like,
when
I
you come
thought
back, you're in DC, so all the
Yeah.
stuff that you guys see is DC,
Oh,
right? So then you just kind
wow.
of think like the pods just pop up there.
Yeah,
yeah.
I did. I thought it was like a pod pop up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here we are. In some
Right.
warehouse.
That would be
somewhere.
wild.
Right. I had no idea. So you go out to LA. Interesting.
And how long?
3 weeks, right?
3 weeks? Is that
So
what you said?
the
the pods.
Yeah,
is-
the pods is just shy of 2 weeks. So what you see on TV is like essentially 2 weeks of dating. I was there again just shy of that. I was one of like the last girls to leave without an engagement. But then you head to Mexico or wherever. I think this year they went to Honduras.
Wow.
Do they tell? I'm sorry, guys.
No,
but I have
go.
to
No,
ask these
you're
questions.
yeah. Please.
Do they give you a list? Like, are they like, you have to bring 3 fancy dresses, like comfortable clothes? Like, what does that look like? Because people are like dressed up. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're in these pods and you're not seeing these people, but sometimes y'all are super fancy.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're all in like gym clothes. I'm
So
like, what
the
is
gym
that?
clothes you're seeing is night dating. So that's more of like a
okay.
casual thing. They do like they give you some suggestions. They don't say like it needs to be a certain number of things, but you do have to pack for like the pods. You have to pack for like if you have the reveal, and then you're also packing for
So fun.
Mexico or whatever.
And
Wow. Okay.
The pods like look like a room. Like,
Yeah,
there's
I looked at it. I
there's
saw it.
like
It's like
not
a
like
big
you're just
gray,
sitting in like
like-
on a chair.
Right.
Oh, they're great. You got a couch. You have
Yeah.
snacks, whatever beverages you want.
Right.
I will say it's
Chilling.
interesting because when you watch Love is Blind, you can definitely see the progression of comfortability. You know, like people, by like episode 3, because and I love Love is Blind because it's quick.
Right.
Like they get down to it. You know, like you're in the dirtiness of it. Like by episode 3, you're like, oh, you can see what's happening. But like you can like people go from like sitting up and like legs crossed and looking fancy to like laying on a couch with like a pillow. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're like, you can
Right.
see like that progression of comfortability. It's almost like they forget.
You, in my experience, you forget very quickly that you have a mic and that there's cameras
Yes.
everywhere. And I'm not talking about just like the cameras in the ceiling or cameras that like I don't know where they are right now, but like the big cameras on the floor. You just walk around. Like just walk around, just
it's
man
just-
operating a camera. And like,
Right.
I know from like work and production that like there's a big control room somewhere and like our names are on tape and they're like, oh, zoom into this or zoom back out of this, whatever.
Right.
Like, and somebody's calling all the shots. But yeah,
It just doesn't
it's-
occur to you.
It was so quick because I thought that was going to be a thing, but like, no, very quickly you just
just
very
adapt.
normal.
So when you guys are in the pods, you guys are just you're left alone.
Yeah.
Like nobody comes in. They're like cut. We didn't like that.
No,
Like,
not
you're
at all.
just-
There's no retakes. Like
So
when
it's
it comes,
just the cameras, and they just cut the
yeah,
cameras.
the cameras are
but
kind of like in the
you're
walls
just in there.
essentially, and yeah, there's one above.
How do you get matched up to date? I have 1,000 questions. Okay, how does the how does the dating happen? Like, how do you get matched up? Like, how does it like random at first, or then do you get to choose?
You
or-
date everyone, and then it's kind of like you'll hear people say like, oh, you're my number one or you're my number two. So there's kind of like a little bit of a ranking system and then like an algorithm that all goes into. And then you get your schedule for the next day. So like you never know when you're walking into pod 2 who's on the other side of the door.
Right.
But it's normally somebody that you would want to see.
Right.
And then it's, dating might be, I don't know, like 15 minutes the first day. And then it's 45 minutes the next day. Then you're leading up to an hour. And then you get those 3 hours and those 5-hour dates that people talk about. Wow. Yeah, as time goes
Yeah,
on.
because they walk in and it'll be like, hey, and then the person on the other side will be like, hey, and then the girl will be like, oh, it's you, Davis. Like, I'm so glad it's you today. And then he's like, oh, it's you, Amanda. I'm so glad it's like you on that side.
Yeah.
And, so I didn't know how that worked
Yeah.
because I'm like, do they really not know who's on the other side?
Yeah, you don't.
Wow. Yeah. And then the living quarters, like I have to know about that. Like, it's got to be weird to be in an environment where you all are kind of dating the same
What does that look
people.
like?
What
What
does
is-
that look like?
Yeah. So though everybody's different, I like kind of went in, I don't know. There was like, I feel like there's some people that like researched the show or were like in pages deep of Reddit about it. And I didn't want to do that. Like I wanted to come in and be myself. And if I made a genuine connection, I made a genuine connection. I was not there for the wrong reasons. Like I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I wanted to be myself. And so all that stuff, like I remember the first day I got nervous because people were like, had these like gimmicky and these catchy things to do. And I'm like, hi, I'm Katie, and this is where I live, and this is what I do, and what's cool about you, Like, I was like,
right. You were
shoot,
just
was this- was-
genuine.
And then I leave because I'm like, great, like I'm boring. Nobody's gonna like me. I'm not gonna get any matches because everybody's talking about these like crazy, like funny things they were doing. I'm like, shit, I just showed up, okay.
Right.
But no, I never really. I had my 2 like best girlfriends in there, Hannah, Marissa. There was like the 3 of us. They kind of called us the trio, and we would come on set, go to our little corner, get our notebooks, and kind of debrief, because when you leave, like you don't see each other. Like we all had separate hotel rooms. There's not opportunities to talk. We don't have our phones. Like
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, so you don't live
So
in
when I
that.
say
you
good
don't live in the
night-
group area.
No, and I thought that too. I'm like,
Oh
even
my
if I got
gosh.
like a little cot somewhere,
Right,
that's
because
fine.
I was just gonna say, do you guys who cooks?
I was thinking of like
do you all
real
cook
world,
together?
where like in like back in the day, like you're all in like these
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
rooms.
yeah, yeah. No,
and-
there's
that would
there's
probably
a hotel.
get crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Are you
know
allowed
what
to,
I mean?
like,
it wouldn't
go
be good
out?
business.
No, no.
You got to go to the
Wow.
hotel and stay
Yeah,
there.
so like they just
like
yeah.
not even the hotel bar.
No,
like
no,
you
no,
go
no,
to
no.
your room
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
there.
yeah. You go to your room.
No kidding.
And like you're escorted everywhere, and they have security in the
Right.
halls, and
Right.
it's just like it's all to keep like the
The show, consistent. They can't have as
What about
Reality
phone?
of it.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to
Oh
have?
no,
you
no,
can't
no!
have
Your phone,
nothing.
your smartwatch, anything that could connect to the internet or Bluetooth or anything is just taken.
So being like a marketing person, like into that, was that kind of driving you crazy because you wanted to like post about what was going on, or no?
I like acclimated very quickly to not having my phone. I will tell you
Wow.
the most annoying thing is like I didn't realize how much I reached for my phone to Google something. Like when you can't
Yes.
remember or like, oh, like hold on, let me
Yes.
look that up really quick.
Right.
Right.
There were so many times I just had to be like, oh,
You're
forget,
like, man, I
forget
really
this
don't
thought.
know much.
Or to know the time.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
never know what time it was.
Wow, it's like
Yeah,
being
you
in
didn't think
Vegas.
What
Well, I guess you're not a watch wearer. I mean, you could wear a watch.
I had my Apple Watch.
but
And you can't
did.
wear it because they'll
And you
take it
can't
from
wear
you.
it,
Right.
yeah.
But you could wear a regular watch.
You could.
But you
But
just
who
don't
the
have
heck
it.
has-
Yeah,
Does
right. Nobody
anybody
wears
have
a
a
right.
regular
Everybody's
watch?
got an Apple
Right.
Watch or Fitbit, yes.
It's like being on a psych unit, which is where I've spent the majority of my last 12 years as an associate.
not a, right.
But
Not
we
on the other
deal with
side.
this all the time. Like we had like a literally like probably like a 25-minute discussion about how old Samuel L. Jackson was. I'm not even exaggerating.
He's old.
75.
He
looks great.
Old, yes. But we did this whole group about him, and we were talking about like trials and tribulations, and I do some work on a co-occurring unit, and that was the discussion. And like Samuel L. Jackson, how old is he? And nobody knew because you can't pull out your phone, you know. And I'm like, I can go in the bathroom and like look it up, you know. Like it's a very humbling moment when you literally are in a space where you just can't look things up. I mean, we've had like knockdown, drag out battles about what's the game with the words that you
Wordle.
Words with friends.
Gosh, I can't even
Scrabble.
Upwards or Scrabble or something of like
Upwards.
whatever I cannot think of the name of it, but I'm like that's not a word, and it's like you can't Google it. So we're like flipping through a dictionary. Like what year is it?
No,
But
Scrabble.
Is it Scrabble? Is that what it
Scrabble.
is? I'm so bad at those games. I'm a bad speller. So, but I can appreciate that. Like you don't have your phone and you're constantly like, oh, let me look at this.
No, it's awesome though, and it's hard to do these days.
Yeah.
Are you a Jack White fan?
No.
Oh,
Well,
you know-
I mean, I'm not like.
Right.
Like
not-
White Stripe.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
his concerts are you can't take your phone in.
Oh, okay.
So we went to see him at Pier 6.
Phenomenal.
And you put your phone, they put it in a locked bag.
Okay,
and you
yeah.
can keep it on you, but you cannot use it. Apple Watches, you can't really use
Nothing.
it. So we went and saw him. Great show. But before he came on, I was just sitting and observing everyone. I was just sitting in the pavilion at Pier 6 watching everybody interact with each other and be in the moment and be present, because his thing is like, I want you to watch my show. I have tour photographers everywhere. You'll see photos on social media, all this, and it was super cool just seeing everybody
Exactly.
We made friends.
it was
We
great.
like made plans to meet my girlfriend, and we had to go do it. I was like, oh, we got to go see Jen. Like we got to make, because I can't text her.
Yeah.
Like we have to go meet her by this like light
Right, the
post
stakes
or
are
high.
higher.
It was wild.
Yeah,
So,
it was so cool. My only job was to date.
Wow.
There was no outside noise. There wasn't work. These are all brand new friendships. So everything was like, you're dating expedited, but your friendships are also expedited. And that's what I didn't understand. I would watch I know the one year it was like Micah and Irina were really good girlfriends. And I was like, did they know each other before? And I was always so confused about that. That happened to me on this show too, because the three of us got so close. Everybody was like, oh, they must have known each other. But no, it was just, Marissa was behind me on the plane, and I was texting my best friend as we're taking off. I was like, this girl's got to be on the show. She's beautiful. She's kind. She's funny. Like I'm listening to her conversation. And it's weird because she was having the same conversations with her friend about me.
you?
Right.
So then we
That's cool.
get our bags, and we always say we fell in love at the baggage claim in LAX.
wow.
But
I was gonna say, I feel like it was like get your bags. You're getting in a cab, looking at each other, like this is so weird, and then you're like following each other.
we're like,
Right.
why are there all these beautiful like women traveling solo with 5 million bags?
Right.
It's amazing to think about, like, you think about Love is Blind and the relationships and people getting married, but you never consider the relationships that people make that are lasting friendships, because you do see that. You see that in when they bring people back. You see that in the reunion. And I've always been really curious about that, because I'm like, man, these
Now, on the
women
other
are
end-
now like friends, but you'd think that you all would be like, stay away from
I'm
that.
not a Love is Blind watcher, but on the other end of this, there's a whole group of guys that match the number of girls as well, right? That got chosen and they're picked, and they're vibing their own ways through the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
They're on the other
interesting.
side, broing it out. I think
Right.
they had a lot of fun the first couple days, and after the hangovers wore out, they were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore."
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
Well, I was laughing because I just can't see you in that.
Hell
environment.
no.
I can't see me. I can't see me in this role.
No.
Right, that's true. You do a
I just
great-
laugh about it because I'm like, there's no way I can see
No,
you
it's
in that
fascinating
environment.
because it's all based on communication.
Yeah.
Like it's.
so interesting.
So to put a cap on it, you go through the whole run. You're there for 3 weeks, phoneless. You make great relationships with girlfriends. But what? So you did not end up with
Correct.
a gentleman.
Yeah. So my story, I never had the pleasure of breaking up with anybody. I got broken up with. So my number 2, that was like a night date that ended. And what's funny is you talk about like kind of being like competitive and things like that. Like I always really felt very confident in my matches, but I never felt like a romantic connection, I would say. Like I never felt like this is my person on the other side of my wall. And there were people that felt that. And I was like, a little envious because
Sure.
that was my job, right? All these crazy things happened to get me here. So like, why am I not falling in love?
Right, it's your destiny.
Yeah. So
right?
like when he broke up with me, it was like stuttering over his words, and I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna cut you off. I get it. I know now who your number one is because I had just figured it out. And I'm like, she's amazing. She's intelligent. She's beautiful. She's everything. You guys are going to be, I'm like, I'm so excited for you. Right.
That's
and I'm
good
like,
for you.
And I'm like, thank you for the part that you played. Like, it was so fun getting to know you, but like, I know you're not my person. Then I come into the lounge and I'm like looking for her and I'm like, she knows that he's breaking up with me. So she doesn't know what she's about to be on the receiving end of, but gave her a big hug. And I was like, I'm so happy for you guys. Like, this was not my connection, whatever. So then the next day, it's like our lunch date. And I'm so excited because normally they do provide food. It was always kind of like a buffet style-esque. Like, you knew it was a bunch of random things put on a plate. I loved it. Again, I'd be like, can I finish that? I think I'm the only person that gained weight on the show. But you come in and it's sushi. So we had sushi that day. I was so excited.
Yeah.
And I had, if you watch the show, you'll see that people can like gift you things. So you bring things from home that mean a lot to you. One thing is for them to keep, and one thing is that's sentimental, but you get it back.
That's nice.
So I had gifted him something that you give, but you get back, because it was something that was special to me, something from one of the last gifts that my mom gave me, and why it's important in my life and whatever. And it's kind of ironic. It really kind of weirdly played into our storyline without us knowing, because obviously I brought it from home. But he's like, I see this box here. I can't open it. And I'm like, okay, why? And I'm thinking, like, why can't you open it? Or it's like, did somebody tape it weird?
Right.
Production.
Right.
And he's like, no, I have stronger feelings for someone else. And I was like pretty blindsided, because I thought I was the last one. And I'm just like, wait, what?
Right.
And I sit there and like, you're kind of like, do I want to fight for this? Because my thing, I came in and I was like, I want someone to be so sure about me. Like, I want someone to be sure about this. I don't want to beg somebody to choose me. Like, I don't want to, not only embarrass myself, but just like look desperate. Like, that's, I came in here confident and like, I knew what I wanted to find. So, I was like, really, I think I might have asked him one or two times, like, are you sure? Like, I really want you. Because I think if he would have opened it, he would have been like, gosh, maybe I'm not making the right decision. Because it would have weirdly played into our storyline. But, he stuck to his guns. And I, again, just didn't make a scene, just said thank you. I didn't say any, like, you're going to see me and need an EpiPen, or you're going to choke.
You'll
have an allergic reaction.
Right.
I didn't do anything like that. I just, I asked, I was like, can I take my sushi? So I took my sushi, sat back down. My one girlfriend was in the lounge. The other was on a date, and she sat down, and I sat there and cried over my salmon avocado roll and was on my way, on my merry way. So
Wow.
that's kind of how it ended. So I didn't see it coming, but, I knew pretty quickly that my person wasn't there. It didn't make sense as to why they weren't there, but I think like as I've evolved, and then as the show has aired and the lessons that Love is Blind taught me, the friendships that it brought me, it all makes sense. Like, I didn't go there looking, I didn't need a husband at that time. Like, I needed other things in my life, and that's what that show brought me.
You needed a break from the rhythm that you had established.
Exactly. Like, I needed to shake up life. Like,
Right.
I left the show, and people do question, like, do they provide, assistance in like mental health and, therapy and things like that. And I took them up on all of that.
I had that question.
It was so mind blowing to me, because I think like maybe you guys can resonate with this, but where we grew up, and I don't want to, make an assumption, but like my family had a stigma against mental health, and not that we shouldn't be doing it. It just wasn't talked about.
Yeah,
My family was very much like, hey, just put a smile on and get back out there, or like rub some dirt on it and you're
Get
fine.
over it.
Yeah. So like even what I was learning is like, I lost my mom from breast cancer. It'll be 11 years this October. Wow. So I never grieved that properly.
Right.
So what I was bringing into the baggage of my everyday, I didn't even realize, and like I learned what trauma is. And trauma is not just seeing somebody get hit by a car. Like trauma is having like certain things happen in your childhood that you didn't know. So Love is Blind brought me that, like that opportunity to kind of knock down those walls, have some hard conversations, and evolve and develop into like a full grown adult who can have a healthy, emotionally balanced relationship.
Good for you. Yeah, that's good shit.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah,
and
that's very
I think that is so amazing to think about.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that you're so honest about it is inspirational. Most people are just looking for the fame or the dumbness of reality TV or whatever, but you're genuine about it, and it's unique. And the show apparently is genuine.
Right.
In that world. I mean, reality television can get wonky, but this seems to be, for the right reasons type
Yeah.
stuff.
For sure.
Wow. Man, I'm dying to know because when they, when what you watch on TV, and have you watched it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
I was gonna
I
say,
was curious.
how weird is it?
Really?
Not weird.
It wasn't okay to me. It wasn't weird at all. Like it just feels like this thing that I did with my friends, and I think because like the world we're in, being on TV for work, being working with like influencers, celebrities, and stuff, we do a lot of really cool things.
Yeah.
So like to me, not to say it was just like another day. It's still very cool, but like. I don't know. I just feel like it was something I got to do.
It's not total fish out of water.
No, yeah.
Because you've been in front of
I
70,000
feel like
people.
your personality is like act like you've been there before.
Like
because I have.
When we got there and you do like your photo shoot and like your media day and the social media stuff, I ate it up. Girls came out of it like crying. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Why did you just freeze and cry and break down? I go in there, I'm like, there was a guy wearing a 49ers hat and I was like, ooh, or it like sucks to be you, or somebody had like a Browns hat on. And I was like, oh, did you catch that game on Sunday? Because it had just been the other day. We beat them. Like that's kind of my personality. Like it's just,
I love it in the pod where you're like, I work for an NFL organization and the dude's like, please tell me it's the Commanders. And she said, it's the better one.
Nice. I love that.
And that really, we talked about that last season. That could have really come back and, bit me in the ass. But
right.
It
did not.
It did not. And the wild thing about that is that I missed that game last season because I was in LA filming the reunion. So I did miss a home game and we didn't have our phones on us because they take it. And I'm like, Sunday was the actual filming and it was like a 6-hour day at least. So I had no idea what was happening, but somebody had snuck in a phone and we were like watching it, but we also mic'd up. So we would be like, cheering not to say anything to them because they'd be like, why do they have a phone? If they even cared, I don't know.
Right.
But we got to the point where like
So
I knew
funny.
we won. It was a kind of close game, so I was like, oh God, I can sleep. Because I was like, if people make fun of me, cool. Like I make fun of myself all the time. That's my favorite thing to do.
Right.
Make fun of myself. So I was like, I'm cool to do that. But then I got to make like. It was like we were talking about social media. It's like TikTok, and it's like she's a legend, she's an icon, and whatever. And like you swipe to it, and it's like boom, and it's the score because it's like I said what I said,
Nice.
like 10 toes down.
That's awesome.
So yeah, had a little fun with that. But
Yeah, that's good
wow, yeah.
So when you go back and watch it, is it weird because you know what happened? Like, you're behind the scenes. You really know because I always question that too of how they cut it or make it look to see, I'm sure they want to put in the juicy stuff, and it's like what really happens versus what you really see and how distant is that gap.
And it's not scripted whatsoever. I think people make those assumptions. I can't speak for all reality TV, but Love is Blind is not scripted. You do have producers that like are helping produce a scene to make TV, right? Like you don't go in there completely all willy-nilly without a guide. Like they help you and they're interviewing you and asking certain questions certain ways. And but to watch it back, like I was more excited to see other people's storylines because I'm not in the pods dating them.
Right,
And
that's interesting.
Even
Right.
my girlfriends Hannah and Marissa that did get engaged, I knew as much as I knew. But like I see that all play out, and I was like, "You never told me about that," or like, "Why did that happen?" Or Marissa was actually living with me at the time, so we would get up at 3 a.m. every Wednesday to watch the episodes together, and it was fun. It got like really emotional for her. She had a completely different experience than me, and I was like unscathed by a lot of it. But to see everybody go through like the highs and lows and which episodes are going to drop, what you're nervous for, what you feel like, "Whew, okay," they skimmed over that or whatever. We have no control of all of that.
Right.
So it is kind of crazy to know, like, I would know what was actually going on. So it's hard to say, like, I don't know, let's just say Ashley and Tyler. Like, I didn't really know because I wasn't watching them date. So, like, I don't know. When people are like, is that the real edit? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you would have to ask them. I really don't know.
Yeah. And I think about that. Like, I look at Marissa or Ashley and Tyler, and I'm like, man, you really seemed like you were in it. Like, what happens?
Yeah.
Like, what happens? When you look at Garrett and Taylor, like I saw that from their very first episode. I was like, oh, these like science nerds, and I say that lovingly. Like I'm a science nerd. Like I was like, these two, like that was a match, and that was made me start thinking. I'm like, man, the producers like picking these people up and being like, oh, these two look like they might make it. Like just thinking about that.
Well, they have to make good television,
right?
It's like even if they're not trying to be Jerry Springer or exploitive,
you want it to be a
still
little
have
exciting,
to get a little
right?
bang
Exactly.
for your buck. And if somebody
But
shows up and
when
they're
you
a bomb,
see these folks get together and they do seem very connected, and even in the reveal, where they get down on one knee and they're clearly attracted to each other, and it's like, shoo, thank gosh, like it always makes me wonder, like, how much of life that happens, that the noise of our phones and distraction and social media and the influence of our families and friends and work, like how much that plays into the influence of our life, because you have these people that genuinely seem very much connected in this bubble, and then they get into the real world and it just kind of crumbles. And I wonder about that.
I think that's a really good point. I would also raise you one more, because I think like if you would ask the couples that got engaged, they would say the pods were the best part by far. I think the vacation, and then obviously moving in together, working, doing all those things, planning a wedding, trying to decide, do I want to marry? I think that is the tough part. And then you sprinkle on there, like you're meeting friends and families. And it's just like, I tell people that whatever you would experience in normal life, multiply it by 100 when it comes to the pressure. I called it like a pressure cooker, because everything was just that much more intense. And I don't know how they did it. And like, you're trying to go to work, you're trying to, like Marissa, for example, was still in law school, living in Northern Virginia, had to drive, commute to Baltimore, catch up on everything that she had missed, try to not flunk out of school. And Ramses was working at home, working for a nonprofit. She'd come home and he would complain about his day. And she's like, you're kidding me.
I get that.
Yeah.
That was me yesterday. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been out of the house every day this week. Why are there dishes in the sink? I got 3 people at home.
But we won't get into that.
But we also have, 20 years worth of community. Like, this is,
you've got
20 days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we have 20 years to be like, okay, I can get over it. I can forgive you because I know you'll do the dishes tomorrow. But when you have 20 days, there's no basis of evidence to say, I know that you can do better
and
tomorrow.
that's if that person was even honest. And you don't know what they look like, right? So like everything's being thrown at you.
You're not allowed to describe what you look like, right?
So you
that's a good
can.
Question.
They don't stop you from saying anything.
But nobody generally does.
I think that gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
I think that's like the couples that like, I'll use the example, lover, but Hannah and Nick,
Football player.
Nick was in there. Hannah thought Travis Kelce was walking out. And I'm like, bro, he's 5'11", which really means like 5'10", 5'9".
Right.
And he's a punter kicker. Like there's stereotypes in sports with your position. And I know the football one really well. Like really well.
Right.
As soon as he said that, I even came in the next day. I'm like, please tell me you were kidding. Like, you're a linebacker, right? Come on. Give me a linebacker or something.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. That was like my exact thought from a fan, from a viewer.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And Hannah was like, I'm high school cheerleader, I'm this, I'm that. And like I think you create, and like we saw it with Jimmy and Chelsea and Charlotte.
I was just gonna say Megan Fox. Megan Fox, exactly. Yeah, that was a thing.
Me personally, I never talked about my appearance. The only thing about my appearance that I talked about was there was a time when people would bring up like insecurities. I don't really have a lot of them, but like I've always been tall. I'm basically like I'm almost like 6 feet tall. So I'm like, if we're going to get paired up, like I want you to know. And I'm like, okay, I'm like between 5'11" and 6'1". So they're like, okay, you're like 6 foot or like 5'10" to whatever. And I was like, I just want you to know because I'm very secure in this. But like, if you're going to be insecure and you're going to make me feel bad, then like, this isn't going to be a thing.
Right.
So that was the only thing I wanted to share about myself. And I stayed true to that. Like I mean, yeah, maybe I would have gotten engaged if I was like, guys, I'm so hot. I'm this, I'm that. I look like this person. But again, you said it. Like, you're coming in, you're being your genuine self. And I would never, ever do that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Wild. But it's just so fascinating to me to see people and see them be so connected and so sure. And then it just crumbles. And I just can't help. It's just because of my mind and things that I'm interested in. But I just can't help but be so curious about that. You know?
I would also say there's a competitiveness to it. Everybody wants to make it out of the pods. That's how you win, right? That was one of like, that was for me, I would think I was most disappointed because I didn't find my person. And that like, as somebody who's like a people pleaser, a highly overachiever, like all these things, I set my mind to
D1 competitive athlete.
I set my mind to something like I make it happen. So I think that was one of the things that I struggled with, but I could kind of see that happening. And I would look at these when I could figure out who the final ones were. I'm like, really, babe? Like that's, there's a couple people like, yeah, absolutely not. I dated him for a while and I'm starting to get to know you really well. And this isn't, but they wanted to make it out of the pods. Yeah. So I will say that because I think to ignore that is
I see
silly.
that because I'm just like, ooh, I don't know about that. or you know, and it's such an interesting thing to be, like I said, on the other side of it, and to be viewing and just question, you know, what is being, you know, edited and what they want you to see versus what the reality of it is.
Because it is different.
Yeah, you know, but it's really interesting to know that it's just very real.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So how did the team receive you when you came back?
Well, when actually nobody know I left. Like I was like,
That's so funny.
like nobody noticed.
Like we were away for 3 weeks.
I've been on TV.
I basically like I took vacation time and I sent out an email to like people who needed to know I was gone, and they were like, the couple people were like, "Are you sick? Like, are you unwell?" And I was like, "Oh, I kind of drafted that a little dark,
Right.
but I'm not. Everything's well." But you know, rumors fly.
Right.
Everybody kind of knew. And then when
Right.
I was actually gone, and my coworkers were really sweet. They like put together a little like gift bag for me, like some candy and, you know, magazines and stuff, and like a journal, and just kind of, it was really cute.
That's fun.
Like thinking about you while you're gone. And that meant a lot to me. And it was more like when the show was airing, or actually when the season last spring, the Charlotte season had aired, they were like, "Oh, we thought this was yours," you know. I'm like, no, I'll be in the fall. And then they were like, you know, pretty cool about it. A lot of people were checking in just to make sure I was okay. And like I said, I was kind of a last minute invite to the reunion. So again, just making sure that I could get my bases covered for that game day to be able to be out there. But as soon as we were done filming, I was on a red eye right back because we had an event the next day. So that was a very quick in and out for me. Wow. But it was great that they could make it happen.
Yeah,
and,
that's probably exciting.
you know, the players and coaches know about it. Like some of the coaches think I went on Love Island, and I just let them think that. So I'm like, if y'all think I went on Love Island, like have a day. That's such a compliment.
Right.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But there's so
absolutely.
many people that had questions about it. I found out even like Tori Smith and Chanel are like big fans. And when I had everybody to the game last, was it November? He's in like every single one of our pictures in the background. Tori.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's a big Love is Blind.
Yeah, so
guy.
like that is really cool. Like people have questions and things like that. But no, I think I came out unscathed. Like I said, I was
it
marked
seems like it.
safe by season 7 of Love is Blind, and a lot of cool things have come from it. But yeah, the curiosity of like the players and coaches have been pretty cool, because they'll just come by and say something, and like now they might follow me on Instagram and like, "You're always doing this, you're always doing that. Where are you
Right.
going this weekend?" Or you know, they're like, "Do you even have time for dating? Like, what's going on in your life?" So yeah, it's cool.
Because you were at
I
big
feel like you
time,
probably
right?
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yes.
were something, for some reason, but I have been.
Yeah.
We went to I went to Katie Pumphrey.
You went to Katie
but
Pumphrey.
you
I
went
went
to
to
Outcalls.
Outcalls.
Okay.
But so we were really wanting to come big
Yeah.
time as Baltimore Improv Group, for anybody that doesn't know.
Schlegel was just on this
Yes.
week. Yeah.
And what they do is they bring in how they describe it, at least my understanding is, people in Baltimore doing really cool shit, local celebrities, if you will, and they bring them in and they interview you,
Yeah.
and then they act out your life.
Yes, it was so
It's
good.
Awesome.
hilarious.
It's so fun.
I had like cramps in my jaws. Like I knew it was gonna be funny, but they're
So
so
fun.
talented,
It's so
such cool
impressive.
people.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I was dying. Like when we went to the Katie Pumphrey thing, like I literally could not get over it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave. Like I was like, do another one.
Yeah.
Like come back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was
so
and
impressive.
you got
They
to go
just
see.
pick up those
Yeah.
details and make a whole skit out.
And
of
it's
it.
not
impressive.
recorded. It's all just one
No,
time.
it's
through
live, like, yeah,
Yeah,
right,
it's
right.
it's just the coolest thing. Like they interview the guests like here, and then all of a sudden we'd all break, and then like this improv troupe would come in and just act out everything that we've been talking
Do
about.
you
And
remember? I mean, obviously you remember it, but do you remember any of the skits they did?
Oh my god, yeah, like all of them. They were amazing. Like there's this one where we were talking about how I referenced that like Marissa was sitting behind me.
Yeah.
So they made a skit about how only the pretty people could sit on the right side of the plane. And they like made pretend couples that were going to Cheaters Island. And they're like, they're like listening to the conversations. They're like,
my
I know they're going to
gosh.
Cheaters Island. And then this guy one of the actors sits behind them, and they're like, excuse me, sir, like you can't sit here. And he's like, why can't I sit here? He's like, because you're an uggo. Like you need to sit on the left side of the plane. Like things like that. And I was just like, oh my God, mind
awesome.
blown. Or
That's
even
hilarious.
when it's funny because I had some of my friends in the audience, and they worked my one friend into it because she was there when I was interviewing downstairs. She was drunk upstairs. Like it was my
Nice.
birthday, and they were opening the champagne before me. And I had like 2 bottles done before I finished
That's a
up.
good friend.
And they come down drunk. So they were like making fun of that. And she like was tickled, obviously, because she made it. But
That's
awesome.
They killed it. They're
So
so,
much fun.
talented.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but you're just doing it. You're
Yeah.
doing all the things.
Why
It's so
not?
fun.
Why
yeah,
not?
absolutely. And I love this idea of like making these connections and having these friends. And so to circle back, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you are keeping in touch with other folks, like your friends from Marissa. And that's amazing.
So did they
Hannah.
stay married? This Marissa, or who was the lady? Your
So
friends?
the only ones for my season are Taylor and Garrett, and yes, they are still married.
Nice.
They seem like they'll make it.
Yeah.
That's my
They're
impression.
gonna, right. That's your prediction.
No, thinking about, I
Yeah.
mean, this is common knowledge, but you talking about, like, when you went on the show, like, you had to clear it with your job, like Marissa being a student, like all that. I mean, this is common knowledge, but Hannah quit her job.
Quit
to
her
come
job.
onto
That's
the
what
show.
she said. I mean,
Yeah.
she self-proclaimed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a big part of her storyline in the beginning.
But, I mean, did she do it because they were like, you can't do that?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, I don't think
That's
she
crazy.
just, yeah.
It's the Hail Mary for
Yeah,
love.
no, she threw
Yeah.
the Hail Mary.
Yeah,
I mean, I
because
can
she was
imagine,
working in sales, so to be able
Yeah.
to take off 3 weeks, and she
Yeah.
was medical sales too,
Yeah.
so it was just like, you can't do that.
Oh,
so.
right.
I can
That's
imagine
tough.
having a staff member come to me and be like, look, I need off for 3 weeks. I'm going to be like, I can't approve that.
Right,
what are you
right,
talking
right.
about?
Yeah.
You know, like, I get it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But that's why I was wondering about the organization, because it speaks to, once again, the Ravens are just badasses. And, I mean,
And
you know.
the serendipity had a little bit.
Oh yeah. And the universe itself
Yeah,
is badass.
yeah.
That's
so
that's so
go
cool.
ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, so tell me about the spin-off opportunities for people. Like, have you been approached to go on to Temptation Island or
Oh
I
gosh.
Love
I have
Island?
not. I have
or-
not. Yeah, I think like
Just
the
curious.
next one would be like Perfect Match. That's more of
Perfect
like
Match,
the Netflix
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
They cast in like May and June. I really, even from the beginning, never thought I'd be like a great person for that, because it's like everybody's younger and like they're always partying, and like I can turn it on, but at the end of the day, I'm still 37.
Right.
And when you bring in someone who's like 23, I don't really know if that's what they're looking for.
Right. I'm like, it's
Right.
getting close to my bedtime right now, actually.
Yeah, like you guys have spent enough time with me here. You know, like I'm a little bit more PR. I'm a little bit more conservative. You watch the show, like I'm not gonna completely embarrass myself for my friends and family.
Right.
I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
My dad and my sister would kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, I kind of, that's what I
it would be
ask,
so
'cause
cool.
Can you imagine? Right.
I would love to go on another show. Like I
Right.
would love to go on another show. I thought it was so fun. I don't know if there's opportunities, but
Yeah.
and you have to think too, like there's contracts involved, so there's probably a
Yeah.
lot of things I can't do, even if I
Right.
was approached.
Right.
But
I get that.
we're just gonna keep putting things back out in the universe to see what
Yeah.
lands. So.
How long was the reunion after the show ended?
So we filmed. Okay, if the show aired October 1st, and the reunion was the middle of October.
So for the reunion, because I don't think this is normal, were they just like, so we're gonna have a flapper party this time around?
You mean
very-
that? Okay, so the reunion. Sorry, when I said the
There's-
reunion, I meant like what we just filmed this past fall. But the flapper party
Right.
is like what we would call like the all cast party,
Yeah.
which is not true because all cast was not there.
Okay.
That was probably, I want to say it was around Halloween. That's why it
Okay.
was Gatsby themed. So about a month since we flew out. So
Right.
I probably hadn't seen everybody in about 2 weeks, to be fair, to put your timelines together.
Right.
Interesting.
And that was, whew. I'll tell you, you want to talk about me letting loose and having some fun.
Well, I kind of read
That's-
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys looked like you were having fun.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was so much fun because, you're meeting, besides seeing the guys on social media, it's the first time you're meeting them. In that room, let's say there were 7 guys, my top 6 were in there. So I was the only girl they brought back. And so, of course, you're like flattered, but then you're like, oh shit. Like, what does this mean?
Right,
You know?
said, is this okay?
Yeah, so it was cool. I had a car service pick me up and drive me down to DC, and I should have made a drink because I was like in the back seat, just like I honestly sat there with my eyes closed, and I remember there was like some rock music playing, and I'm like, it's okay if you fall asleep, just like chill, be cool, like you've got this. Thinking like, what am I walking into?
Wow.
So that was a little overwhelming, but again,
No,
I was
you
just
look
like,
great. You had the tiara, because I kept saying because I
was
was
like,
like,
I
she's
don't know
wearing the
what that-
tiara,
yeah.
and she's like, she wasn't though.
I had
Right,
like
it
a
was- we
day
were
to get something
confused.
together.
Yeah,
right.
Again, that was a very last minute invite.
I do have a flapper costume, just so you know.
Okay,
In case you
next
ever need to know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can pull that
I was like,
picture up immediately.
sequins. I was like, I was
was
supposed
a
to wear
good year.
this. I was supposed to wear this for New Year's one year, so kind of roll with it. Got a headpiece on Amazon, had some fun, but no, that was a great party. It was,
Yeah.
So that was
fun.
just a party,
well
different from the reunion.
different than like the reunion that we just
Okay.
filmed this fall of 2024. So yeah, they like, I guess, was it the last season? They were at like a ski resort. I forget, Charlotte, they were at that boathouse. Houston, they did like a rooftop barbecue. So there's always a scene where they bring back people to like dangle in front.
Right.
Like, oh, here's Katie.
Right.
Like, we're going to like sacrifice her to the fiance.
Like, look what you missed out on.
Right. And then it's like, you know, these girls are your friends, but I'm trying to like talk to somebody and I see her like over her shoulder every 3 seconds. And I'm like,
Right.
I just want to eat like my chicken nuggets and drink my vodka soda and have fun with my girlfriends. I'm not coming for your man.
Right.
But again, like to that point of like where everything was just so dramatic, like I had a, you know, bullseye on my forehead as soon as I walked in there.
It's really intense.
Everybody's
like,
levered up with emotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
But and that's where I had my conversation with Nick that, you know, everybody was like, oh, that's, I think, what Hannah was trying to say for a long time. But how I put it was just a lot differently than kind of how she talked to him and what he needed to hear. And again, that was just based on my experience. I dated him for a handful of days before I was done. And we ranked each other very high in the beginning because there was a lot of commonalities. And, you know, we were looking for the same things in a partner. And I still think we are. It's just that, and even knowing Nick today, it's like, no, that wasn't my person. I think like I have nothing bad to say about him. It's just like, we want different things, and he's still in his late 20s. I'm getting closer to my late 30s. It's like, it's just not, it wasn't a match. You know, maybe like, I think he would be ready for a very serious relationship in the next couple of years, maybe 3, 5, whatever. But like, you can't date somebody on potential, and I'm still trying to learn that one. But I at least identified.
So do you think the pod concept has merit? I
Absolutely.
Mean,
yeah.
Right.
For sure. I think if people, again, they're for the right reasons, are honest.
Yeah, I think it does.
You know what I mean? Like, like it has merit in the sense of like, if you're using it right, it is a productive way to possibly find somebody that on a non-surface level.
Yeah, you're having these conversations where it's like, oh my gosh, that really resonates with me. Or like, I'm opening up to you on day 2 about like, my dead grandma and like the experience she had, and we're sitting here crying together, and I'm like, oh my God, I've never even like seen a man cry. But it's like, it's cool that you want to be vulnerable and have this, and like you're trusting with me, and like we're building this bond through shared experiences and stories, and it's there's a lot behind it that I wouldn't go on a first date and ever do that. Like, it was hard to go back to normal life and not sit down and be like, okay, you know, asking the hard hitting.
Asking the
I had to
hard
like
hitting.
ease into this, and I'm like, oh my God, how do I do
That's
that?
funny.
Right.
Yeah.
That's wild to think about.
Yeah.
And it's just that I do a lot of coaching calls, and a lot of the communication that I have, it can go either way. It can be...
Can you pass me that black cherry?
Yeah, absolutely.
It can be a phone call. It can be a virtual meeting. It can be texting. But I'm going to say, honestly, 9 times out of 10 people opt for a phone call because I give them that option. And it's wild, the difference, at least in my opinion, of the things that just because I can't see someone, you know, I can think of several folks that I've worked with that, you know, I know deeply about them. If they walked in here right now, I'd have no idea that's who they were.
Right.
And it's interesting because I think it just gives people this opportunity to just be very vulnerable and very raw and very honest. And it just is fascinating to me to think about, you know, what that face-to-face is that changes that.
And then like that night I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I haven't dated you for so long, but like I know all these things about you. Like I kind of know your deepest, darkest secrets, essentially. I know your whole family dynamic. I know like where you've been successful, the losses you've had, like traumas, all these things. And like I'm not even really going to talk to you that night because your fiance is like breaking her neck to see us interact. It's weird.
Right.
And even now I'm like, we're not really like, a lot of us aren't really friends, but not like, we don't not like each other, but we're just not friends. And I think about that sometimes and I'm like, wow, like we really had some kind of like pod intimate moments where it's like, we don't even speak anymore. It's bizarre to think about.
Yeah, that is weird.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you? Yeah, I guess you don't stay in touch after that.
And I think like I look at the Minneapolis season and I am a little envious of their friendships. A lot of them seem like they get together pretty often and have some fun. But you also too, like you guys know this, in our area, in the DMV, we had people from Baltimore, DC, Northern Virginia, and we don't often mix, you know, like it might look like only 30, 40 miles on a map, but it could take you 2 hours to get down there.
Don't even talk about DC traffic.
My work wife, it's the DC Amanda. I love
Bush,
her.
we'll shout her out.
That's right, Amanda Bush. Yeah. I love her, but we're never getting together. I mean, she lives in Northern Virginia. I'm like, bestie, it would be like 2.5 hours in mad traffic.
And no one was coming up to Baltimore because you know how they felt about Baltimore. And I was like, well,
they're
you
like
guys
that.
are missing out on a great time. It's
Yes,
just
they are.
it's more pretentious. Everybody down there.
Yeah,
So
it's DC. Even
was-
like my department is split between Baltimore and DC, and they're always trying to get us to go down there. And we're like, no, just come to Baltimore. It's better up here, you know. So I get it, totally get it.
Marissa and Brittany were Baltimore, right?
Yes.
And then there was one dude, right? Was Baltimore?
Isn't Leo Baltimore?
Leo is DC. He's in New York right now. Tim was Laurel.
Laurel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But from like the main cast.
Yeah.
And Tyler's living in Baltimore now, but I think he still like kind of claims DC, Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of like where the cards fell for him.
Yeah.
His buddy's up here.
Wow, interesting.
I have a random question.
Let's do it.
I love it.
Oh gosh.
If you were allowed to run just a Ravens halftime show or any halftime show with no budget, what would you do?
This is easy. I've always wanted to do Travis Pastrana and bring a Nitro Circus and just tear it up.
Oh my God.
But
We're
like
trying to get Street
logistically,
Bike Tommy in here.
logistically, we could never. Our grounds crew probably just
Would be
has
like,
this
are
like
you
spidey
out of
sense. I'm
your
talking
mind?
about it, but how cool would that be?
It would be incredible.
Oh my God, that's
And
the best
Travis is
answer she
like-
could have given.
Travis is like the coolest person ever.
Yeah.
His family's amazing. Like he's just so easy to work with and gracious, and
Right.
he's awesome.
Have you
That
ever
would
been
be
to its
wow.
have you ever
So
been to
wait,
its
the Nitro
compound?
Circus comes
No,
to
I haven't.
Baltimore.
I need to.
Yeah.
I need to.
The Nitro Circus comes to Baltimore, but it's at the.
Well, they had it at
it's
the Horseshoe in like the parking lot. Or Street Bike Tommy had something in the parking lot.
Yeah, I would
not
say they
long
do
ago.
something somewhere, but man, that would be wild.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about hyping up the stadium.
or even just like a ramp, and it's like a trick or something like that. That's
Right.
like.
Or he comes in over the wall into. You know.
Do you have anything to do with the halftime show?
Our department does. The marketing department does. So not me.
Really?
Like, I mean, I'm always down to drop ridiculous ideas.
Sure.
I put in my requests frequently for our halftime acts, for musical acts.
Right.
Sometimes I usually get laughed at. People are expensive.
I know.
Right, yeah.
I
They're
know.
so
are
expensive. We're learning this,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
We had no idea. And we've been intimately involved in the live music scene of Baltimore. And actually, Lepo is part of
Yeah, Lepo's in
Lepo
two
is
bands.
in two bands.
Three bands.
Three bands.
Three bands. Sorry, I can't keep up.
And
Three
we have a
bands.
music series at Guilford Hall Brewery
Yeah. I
every
saw
Tuesday.
That.
Yeah,
I
it's
saw
cool.
that.
That's cool, but like I've started reaching out to like
Oh, he reached out to
I'm just
everybody.
putting it out there. I'm
Everybody.
Like, I reached out to Taylor Swift.
He did.
Why
I
not?
was like, what? Yeah, right.
I'm throwing haymakers left and
Yeah.
right. Like I said, Qadri Ishmael.
Yeah.
He got
yeah.
back to me like I've reached out to
Right.
a lot of outlandish people, but
yeah,
I'm
James
going
Hong.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, my favorite pickup line to celebrities is I gotta get you to a Ravens game.
Nice.
Like, and now
Right,
I have a
right.
blue
Yeah,
check
but-
mark, so I'm like, this might happen.
But see,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like if I
I'm like,
had
Riley Green, if you're listening,
if I had
hilarious.
your
I love that.
leverage, it would be different.
love
We have her leverage now.
But-
she's
but
she's a veteran
Yeah.
of Sanity Lounge.
But the leverage we have is the lounge itself.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
itself.
so
everybody
yeah,
wants
I
to
mean,
come in.
we can go into that a little. I mean, like Baltimore, like that's our whole goal with this show. Me and my wife are. I mean, we're all music lovers. Everybody's a music lover, but we see a lot of local music, so we've gotten like real
sure
involved in the local music scene, and that's kind of one of the reasons we did this. Brian's a very like passionate drummer, amazing drummer.
Thank you.
And we've had drummers on. We've had Scott and both Justin. We have
Friends
we've
of
had
98
everybody
Rock.
from the morning show on except Spiegel, and we're working on it.
We're
I was
working
on 98
that.
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on.
This is Amanda's second time, but everything we do
Here.
is everything's homegrown.
They're
Like
so
the
great. I
shirts
love
we
those.
have are local. The logos, one of our good friends, local.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see the city skyline. In the
I love
back
it. This
if you
was so
notice.
impressive. I walked in, I was like, oh my god.
The
I
theme
actually
song is
said
by
to
No one
Davis.
expects it when they come here.
Are these like Predator things?
I
What is-
make these.
No.
I'm not a musician. Yeah.
halftime show.
Yeah, I make the Predators. Yeah.
They'll be wearing Ravens
I'm
uniform.
so happy
So
they're
I gotta
here.
pick my jaw up off the
Yeah.
ground. That's
And-
I'm
and-
so
incredible.
happy they're
Yeah.
here and not in our house.
Well,
You
there
wanna
is some
see
in
the
their
house.
There are more
Yeah.
at the house,
I
but
make xenomorphs
there's two less
You
at the
come
house.
down for your midnight snack.
alien
Right.
xenomorphs and all
pants.
that.
We
Yeah,
have
you ought to
kind of
see the garage.
we have a
It's something else.
4-level house. So the second level is mine, and there's rules about the second level. Lots of rules. But one of the rules was that there's no creepy Davis stuff on the second level.
Boo.
But he has managed, I know, I'm such a buzzkill, right?
Right,
He has managed to
No,
put a
there's a-
predator up in the corner, and we also have a Xeno, like an
Xenomorph from
alien
Alien,
guy,
yeah.
but his tongue is removed, so he's not as creepy.
It's not as upsetting.
But then all the artwork in our house is all local artists. Like we just
Yeah.
love Baltimore, and
Yeah.
the whole point of this show is to paint Baltimore in a positive light because everybody, like you said, everybody just
Yeah.
is like Baltimore. Like I don't
Yeah,
wanna
like
go
why would
there.
you come here when you
You
go
live
to
in the
DC?
city.
Totally. And that's like, I just said this on Aaron's podcast. They were like, what are you looking to do? And I said, I want to amplify the voices in Baltimore. I think
that.
there's so much negativity. Baltimore is Charm City for a reason. And the
Yes.
people make it.
Absolutely.
And doing like the improv show, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to advocate for you guys because the creatives in Baltimore, nobody knows what's going on. Or if they do,
Right.
it's like small communities.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm
there's
like,
there's a musical renaissance happening.
That's
like, It's
amazing.
insane.
There's
Like,
so many amazing people
I
doing
just want to
amazing
amplify the cool things that we're doing. And that's why I say yes, because I'm like, I just want to show off what other talents there are in the
Absolutely.
city. And I'm a big advocate for that. And
Well, that's what we're about here.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody thinks, like the city has its problems. There's no doubt about it. But like you said, it's Charm City for a reason. And there's a lot more good than bad. I mean,
Yes.
there just is. If you watch the news every night, one story, but there's a lot of other stories that are just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you live in what area do you live in?
so I'm in like Highlandtown, Patterson Park.
Oh,
So right outside
So
Canton.
we met in the city. We lived in the city. We met at
did.
Hail Mary's.
Oh, no way.
Before
Yeah.
Tom and Mary sold it to locals, so it's
Yes.
still functioning as
We are
It's one of our favorite
Ale
places.
Mary's lovers
Yeah,
because
Amanda
of a
worked
Chili
there.
Willy.
Yes.
Yes.
We met over at Chili Willy.
And Woe Davis was the beast that used to come in nightly and scare her for
Yeah.
many
Did.
years.
He did.
Yeah,
Used
me
to
and
just-
Amanda's first shot together was a wild one. Do you know what have you ever done a Chili Willy?
No, that was
Don't.
Do you want me to tell you what
Don't
it
do
is?
it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm
So
gonna have to
you know,
Google
like,
it later.
Point.
So you
Now that I have
may
my phone back.
I know.
well, we'll see.
Right.
So you have the thick, nice shot glasses that have like the divot.
When you flip them over.
Yes.
So you fill that with rumple mints,
Okay. Ugh.
and then you snort it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh.
It's terrible.
That's the shot.
It basically gives you a brain freeze.
Why would you do that?
It's terrible.
It's a great
Because
question,
Tom
Kate. It's a
Rivers
wonderful
suggested
question.
it,
Right.
and I was like, okay.
And then I was trying to
Yeah.
be cool to show off. And
This
I
is
was like,
before she was
obviously.
in psychotherapy.
Yeah, I would never do that now.
Yeah.
Like ever, ever, ever. Like you
Before the
couldn't
degrees.
Yeah, exactly. This was way before I was smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to be cool. I can do this. And I can, like, even talking about it, I can still feel the coldness.
Oh, yeah.
in
Yeah.
I snorted whiskey.
my
mean,
frontal
Yeah.
lobe. Yeah, it was tragic. Yeah.
But that was
You guys should make that initiation.
yeah. That
yeah,
was
it's just not good business.
that was what was that? 17,
Katie, snort this.
18 years ago,
I was going
and
to
we're
say
still together.
2006, maybe.
Yeah, but because of that,
time
every
frame.
time we
Yeah.
take a shot, we say congratulations.
Congratulations on your
marriage.
marriage.
Aw.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so
But
funny.
yeah,
Love
we
does
were
exist.
She's like,
Boy.
see?
we didn't even we got married when I was 32, I think. I was 32. We got married. Yep.
Yeah.
But it was quick. We met, we got engaged, we were married all within like 2 years cuz I was just like I don't have any time. And he was like I think
Almost
I better hurry up and lock this
borderline-
down before she gets
borderline
Yeah, he was
homeless.
ready. I think he was ready.
Dude, I lived in a basement apartment on Pratt Street. Like the fact that she's even with me is a miracle because she came over one time and brought me dinner and I did not have any forks because I would just do the dishes or I would use the dishes and then they'd be in the sink and I'd be like, I'm just gonna throw these away.
It's like, don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Like, legit. Like, he
Like
just
she went to
throw
her
them
best
away.
friend Megan, who I knew before Amanda, who bartended at Male Berry. She's like, he doesn't have any forks. She's like, what do you mean? And she's like, I went to his house to eat. And he
The man
any
doesn't have
forks."
silver.
She's like, just move on. Just move on. What are you doing? Like, do not date this guy.
Here we are.
Right.
Well,
That's wonderful.
And
Forks
then
don't matter.
Right. Forks don't matter.
love is love.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Love is blind,
Love
apparently.
is without
Right.
forks.
But all that's to say,
So-
you go to bat for the city. Like
Yeah.
you feel that the
Yeah,
city
absolutely.
is
And
a
I think, too,
positive
like,
place.
With the work we do in the community at the Ravens, like it's
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
through and through embedded, right? Like it's definitely something that I take a lot of pride in. My favorite thing about working for the team is that I represent something that matters in this city. I think sometimes it's hard to make a change when you just feel like a small individual, but when I work for a brand that means so much to so many people, so whether it's just putting a smile on somebody's face or coming in completely renovating an elementary school or donating your time to serve food or beautification project or whatever it is, we do stuff with like the harbor, and there's so many things that you can do, and that's where I get a lot of pride for what I do. So it's like so fun to win on the field, but like the stuff we do in the community is even more impactful.
Even the lunch you had, which the whole thing surrounding that, which the Ravens, I mean, they gave a significant amount of money to some hospitals, but
all the Baltimore players.
There's stipulations though, like it has to go to nursing.
It's for nursing.
It has to go to the nurses.
Yeah, and I love that. And it's you take care of us, we take care of you.
Yeah. So Amanda, here's a great fact about Amanda. When she worked at Mercy Hospital downtown, she was the first Daisy Award winner in Maryland. The Daisy Award is an award given for excellence in nursing, and she won that almost on your first year.
Yeah,
and
it was very early on. It was very early on.
It's a peer and patient like thing.
Yeah. And I just literally held somebody's hand because they were afraid to get blood drawn. That was it. And I remember thinking that, like, I thought I was getting fired. So, they make a big deal about it and you don't know what's happening. You know, it's very anonymous. And, they're like, you have to come in on your day off at this time. And they just make it very scary sounding so that you show up and that you're on time. And I just remember being like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, oh my gosh, did I screw something up? And I go and he was there and my parents were there and I'm like, what is happening right now? And
is this an intervention?
Yeah, right.
I've seen this before.
Right. I'm like, what is going on? And it was a really big deal and I got this award and they read the nomination and you don't even know what it is. I'm like, wait a minute, what did I do? Like, I don't even remember doing anything remarkable. And that really is what it's about. And that's exactly what you're speaking to. You don't think about doing it because it matters. You think about doing it because it's what's right.
Yeah.
Whether that's painting an elementary school or, I don't know, going and giving socks out to, helping up mission in the wintertime. And it just feels good, and I love that kind of stuff.
No, helping people is her passion. I can attest to that. You were also the Nurse of the Year, the Baltimore Magazine Nurse of the Year.
Yeah, I feel like I got kind of the shaft on that, though. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, because it was COVID and I didn't get to go. No. Our party was virtual.
Oh, right. Just because you didn't get to go to the party.
I was very, very
But that also
humbled,
means that I did not get to go to the party.
I know.
But we love a party.
Yes, I know. And it was virtual. Remember, we sat out in the backyard. It was COVID. And we sat in the backyard and listened to it. And it was like, and it was fine. But I remember like laughing about it because I was like, man, I actually won like an award and it was a virtual party.
Yeah.
That's funny. Lord Davis A.
Thank you.
I am my wife's biggest
you are, because I don't like to talk about these things because it makes
you guys are all fantastic,
uncomfortable. Yes, but
I have. This is another question just to see. It may or may not have an insane answer, but what is the craziest I guess fan interaction that you've had, or have you not had like an insane interaction?
Okay, I'm gonna two things because one's just funny and one is just like weird. I'll get like DMs that are like, "Were you just walking in Patterson Park?" Like, please don't do that. Please don't. Like, you really don't even have to say hi to me. Like, just please don't, because that makes me like not want to sleep in my house at night.
It's just
so
don't.
Scary.
Yeah, so stuff like that, like please don't do that. But my older sister, she just gave birth to her fourth early May, and we were at GBMC, and the nurse pulled me aside, and she was like, "I didn't want to say this in front of your sister because like she just had a baby, and this is about her. But were you on like Netflix Love Is Blind?"
That's so funny.
And I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
she was like, "Sorry, I didn't want to like take away," and I was like, "How can I make this day about me?"
Right.
It's her fourth kid, whatever.
Things like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything crazy. Yeah, just like the creepy things. Like I can pass on those. But it's nice when people recognize you or like want a picture or something. And of course, when the show was out, we did like appearances and things like that were pretty cool. Nothing too crazy.
No crazy drunk Ravens fans.
Game day's interesting because I think you can put all the pieces together and be like, okay, that is Katie. And I was walking last year with my intern and he kept like turning around. I'm like, what are you looking at? And he's like, the amount of people that are passing us that are doing like double or like triple takes, like putting it together.
Are noteworthy.
Yeah. He's
That's
like,
wild.
I can kind of tell. Or
That's
I
wild.
had a coworker went to a NFL flag conference and he came back and he's like, I just need to tell you, like, you know, everybody wants to know, like, what's Lamar like? Is he cool? Do you know him? And then like, but then they were like, and do you know Katie? Like from Love Is Blind? Like, do you work together? Is she cool? What's Katie like? And I was like, oh my God, the fact that I'm coming after Lamar.
Right, it's
like,
Lamar and Katie.
I know, it's like, what's Lamar like and Katie?
I'm like, so you're saying I've made it.
That's
Thanks.
nice.
Yeah. Stuff like that's kind of cool.
That's
but-
awesome.
That's hilarious.
I had my 5 minutes of fame at Hershey Park.
Oh, right, because everybody thinks you're Jack Black. That is correct.
And he just went with it. Yeah.
People were
And
for
he
sure.
is
Because
really
nowadays-
enjoying like tricking little children.
I was there
Yeah.
on a field trip, and I was like, I was telling Sarah, the moms, I was like, there's a rumor going around Hershey Park right now that Jack Black is here, and I am that rumor. Like, I was waiting in line for rides, and people were like doing selfies and getting me like in the background, like I could see it. Like I was walking down one line, and a woman standing there, and she's like, and as I got closer, the dude goes, he's going, it's not him. It's not him, not him, not him, not him.
Because she was going to be like,
Yeah.
are you Jack Black?
Right. Kids were like, just like double. It was wild. It was so fun.
You have that little
In
girl
my
in our neighborhood convinced she calls you Steve.
Yeah, she's like, hi, Mr. Steve. And I'm like, I am Steve.
I'm like, stop
That's
telling
from
her that.
the Minecraft.
I was
movie.
going to say, I knew it was just a mind call, so
Yeah,
kids are
yeah.
probably freaking
They're
out.
Oh my God.
obsessed.
No, they're like, hey,
Obsessed.
are you Steve? And I
He'll
just
go out
keep
to walk
I'm
the
walking the
dog,
dogs, and
yeah.
I'm like, I am Steve.
Yeah.
And I just keep walking, and then they're like, I look back, and they're all just like,
And then I yell at him because I'm like, stop.
They're like,
tricking these
Mom,
children."
who's the weirdo?
You need a t-shirt that just says, I am Steve.
That's so funny.
I
That's
get
funny.
the parade. Like when we had the kids' parade, like the back of
Yes.
her windows are tinted, and I was sitting in the back because our son was sitting up front. It was like the 8th grade graduation parade, and I was like, "Stop here! I want to go up and film it here." And I just got out of the car, but where I got out
were
of the
in
car
front
was
of the
where the
littles.
kindergartners were. So I got out of the car, and they were just like, and like I just walked through them without saying anything.
Oh my God.
Dude, I ride that as
Yeah.
far as I
it's
can
a good
take
idea.
it.
I really
Very cool.
appreciate you because I was actually going to call you out and say that the reality of it is about you is that you love
Yeah.
that shit. Like
I
you
want Jack
eat
Black
it
to
up.
acknowledge it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's,
yeah,
he's
right.
really trying to get Jack Black to be
I
like,
love Jack Black.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
We got to get Jack in the lounge.
Yeah.
Katie, let's make
Yeah,
that
we
happen.
can
Okay.
make it happen.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you got to get some ferns.
Combine
though. I feel
all
like he
of our
likes that.
forces.
Yeah.
Do you, are
I
you...
do believe that that's possible. Like everybody knows everybody. Like I believe that we can seriously connect everybody.
Yeah, I
we never
agree
went
too.
back.
Yeah.
We never
Small
remember we were going to
Baltimore.
do the Baltimore 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, and we forgot about all that.
Well, it wouldn't be Kevin
fine.
Bacon.
You got to bring it
though.
up. Well, it's
And
the
it's
same
6 degrees.
concept,
6
right?
Oh,
It's
God.
6,
I got that.
Yeah, you got
completely
that wrong.
6
but that's
degrees
okay.
of Baltimore. We'll work on
Sounded
that.
good to me.
Right.
So I am obsessed with a singer-songwriter from New Jersey. I'm using this as my moment.
Oh,
okay,
do
don't
it.
even.
What's
look.
the guy's name?
I'm
You always
obsessed-
ask him. We
you
want
know,
him
I'm-
on.
Joe
Yeah.
P.
Joe
Oh,
P.
right.
Love him. He's amazing. I've seen him 6 times. He's phenomenal.
He really
Go
is.
see him. He's phenomenal. Every single solitary time they have somebody in here, I'm like, I did it last night when he got home. Mr. VCR was here, and I was like, "Did you ask him if they know Joe P?" And he's like, "No."
forgot.
Why don't we
forgetting-
ask?
You got to
Yeah,
ask
everybody.
It's
We
like
gotta
somebody
ask
will know
everybody, 'cause
his drummer,
Santos.
Somebody's got to know these guys because I'm
Like
gonna
fish,
get to
like
him.
the fish song
Exactly.
Santos might be about him.
Well, I mean, you never know, but
Right.
I love him and I tease him all the
It's
time.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
gonna
we
happen.
did get an opportunity to meet him at the auto bar. That was really fun, and we got to take a picture. And he's
Oh,
super nice
cool.
guy.
Yeah.
But every time I'm like, we got to ask people like, who's from New Jersey? Does anybody know Joe P? Because we're
Yeah.
gonna get to him. So
We're gonna work on
yeah,
that.
I'm gonna get him. We're gonna get him.
Well, that's what music are you into?
Oh my gosh, I just did a bridal photo shoot.
I saw
So
that.
people, like,
Congratulations.
thank
Are you doing modeling? I mean, are you doing
It
some
was
modeling
just like-
now?
What's
It-
a bridal photo shoot?
it
She
was-
was wearing wedding gowns.
Yeah,
I
I had
you were
like
downtown, right?
a full
It was
glam day.
downtown.
Yeah, we were at the Pendry and then Mount
Yeah,
Vernon.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was just basically Krista, the makeup girl, DM'd me and asked me if I'd be interested. And just like you guys, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And she, behind the scenes, got the wedding planner, the hair, the makeup, the floral, the dresses, everything. It was just like 8 people, essentially, that were in on it. And we had a day. We had the most amazing day. But I say this because they asked me what kind of music. And I was like, can we just listen to just like some girly pop?
Right.
And I'm like, the Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Gracie Abrams, like just like the feel good pop right now heading into summer. I love country. I love all
Taylor
music.
Swift.
But like, it was just such a vibe and we had such a good day. And I was just saying it really was. At one point, like they were like, do you know somebody that would like male model with you? And I'm like, no, I'm like ridiculously single. If I knew somebody that was like, that met these qualifications, he would be here.
Right.
I'll do it.
Right. Whoa,
He's like,
Davis.
sign me up.
So I was like, if you guys can find somebody, that'd be great. But I think it worked
that's
out
awesome.
perfectly that it just got to be the girls and like my sister being on maternity leave came down because I was like,
that's
just in
awesome.
case we never get this moment, you get to see me in a wedding dress in full glam. And we got pictures and videos of her like zipping me up and doing the buttons, like that
that's
whole
so
thing that
cute.
girls
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
So
yeah. Oh,
yeah, I put up today like voted most likely to drop wedding content with no context.
I love it. I love it.
So everybody was like, what? Like my coworkers like, did you get eloped? Because I had just been on vacation. I was gone for like the week before. So they're like, oh, you eloped.
So people are seeing those photos and they're like,
They're like, what the hell?
So
Right.
yeah.
funny.
Gotta keep people on their toes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
definitely.
keep them confused.
Yeah.
You know, like wait, what is this?
But Taylor Swift, like, yeah, I like Taylor Swift. I went to the first night of her Eras tour out in Scottsdale. And it was kind of like just crazy how I got tickets. My younger sister,
gosh.
who is a nurse, she's a nurse practitioner. She works on oncology unit. So shout out to all of our nurses.
Yes.
God love her.
She drove down and I flew in and it was night one. And I mean, I felt like, again, I didn't know it was going to be like 4 hours. I left there and I'm like, I think I owe Taylor more money. Like, take money from me. That was, we sat there, we laughed, we cried. Again, like no videos from the night.
Right.
We dressed up even before like we knew that was a thing, but people told me like, you got to dress up.
Yeah.
But no, that's kind of like my vibe right now. But this is also a time of year where it's like a lot of beach time. So just anything chill, relaxing. I love like 90s country.
Right,
and,
right.
You know, anything that's a vibe. So
Do you get
90s
down
country,
Ocean
I like
City a
that.
lot?
Bethany.
Bethany,
Bethany
nice.
Beach. Yeah. That's where my
Yeah.
family has a spot. So
will you be down there next weekend?
I will be. I'm actually,
Seriously?
yeah, I'm going down, I think either Friday or Saturday for
Dude.
a really long vacay.
My band
Are
plays
we-
like
are we tickets?
my
Yeah.
His
my
band is playing.
plays
They're an
like
80s,
15
90s
times a
cover band,
summer.
and they are
Which night?
fantastic. Saturday
Saturday night.
5:30.
to
Okay.
9:30.
Okay.
Oh,
We
really?
have
It's the deck party.
completely like situated our family vacation around this.
No,
Yeah.
totally. And one of
They're
my friends
so
is coming
fun.
down and she'll love it. Like,
Fagers.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a
Great
real
spot.
fun.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
our band
Saturday's
is
what,
fun.
the 28th?
It's,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 5:30 to 9:30. It's the deck party. It's
Fantastic.
free. It's early, so you don't. It's not like 1
Yeah, we have a
a.m.,
bunch
you
of
know.
friends coming with us.
Awesome.
Like,
There's
it's-
like-
I would
oh my
love
God.
to.
10 of us going.
You're on the drums, you sing?
Yes, ma'am.
does.
Some
Yes.
some songs.
He does.
Not all. No, their frontman Christian is a frontman. Like you're gonna go and you're gonna leave and you're gonna be like, "Where are you guys playing next?"
Yeah.
which is gonna be
Cool.
up here
Like
somewhere.
we have a lot of we have a lot
like
of
they're
fun.
we're
Like,
going.
They will pack that
tomorrow.
place. Yeah.
He's one of his bands is playing Christopher Schaefer. You know he is. He's the suit maker. Christopher Schaefer.
Oh, yeah,
clothing.
yeah.
He's been on the show
Clothing
twice.
designer.
Like we're friends with him.
Amazing.
So he's from Westminster too, right?
Where did he say he was from originally?
Oh,
Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, God.
I know
It's
God.
great.
Sometimes God chimes in to help us
Jesus
out.
is speaking to me. It's time to go.
Right.
Scotty,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Right.
Thank
But
you, Jesus.
anyway, he is like he's a skater.
Oh.
Always has been. He's a drummer. He's got a punk band. Fantastic. That he was heavily involved in bringing Hazelwood Skate Park in Rosedale to
Yeah,
life.
okay.
It's been like 7 years in the making, and now it's open. And he's having a festival
Go
there.
Skateboard Day
Go
is what it's
Skateboard Day is
called.
tomorrow. His band's opening it up. Gravediggers Biscuits, which is a great band. It's a band he's in. It's a band he's in with
the
his
Fagers
cousin.
band.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
not. It is not pop music.
No, it's crazy, but it's
different
awesome.
than Taylor Swift.
So there was a band called From the Hills back in the 90s, and they are from Frizzleburg and write all their songs are about Frizzleburg. And there is the album on Spotify. It's way out of her genre of music, and I played it for her, and she's
It's
like, this
phenomenal.
is incredible.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'll
phenomenal.
send you
It's
the
How,
link
how
to
do they have
that.
so many things to say about Frizzleburg?
Oh, you'd be surprised. There's
Okay.
there's songs about
there's
pig
not-
auctions. Like it goes.
There's not
all over the
one
place.
So we
single
can
thing.
resonate.
Well,
we
you
can
know,
resonate with this.
I wrecked my pickup truck. Sure was a hell of a ride. All I'm worth is $3, 12 quarters.
The reason he's bringing
Colt
up From the
45,
Hills
like-
is because the guy that sang with From the Hills, actually the whole band of
Yeah.
From the Hills is
Yeah.
in my band
Yes.
that's opening.
Okay.
The Gravediggers Biscuits band is From the Hills
Yeah.
and Iron Boss
Yes.
and me and my cousin.
So the point is I'm going to that skate park at noon to see that, and then I'm sticking with Brian the rest of the day while he goes back to Westminster, and then
We
Making
play
Waves
Island
plays
Green
Island
tomorrow.
Green tomorrow up in
In
Westminster.
Westminster.
Great
Yeah.
crab
Yeah,
cakes.
yes,
Oh,
and
their food's good.
and it's also one of our
Good cheeseburgers.
very best friend's 50th birthday surprise party.
Yeah,
Well,
but
this will be out after that.
before,
Right.
yeah.
Surprise!
Happy
This,
birthday.
we are not live. Happy birthday, Reno. Because you'll
Yeah,
listen to this.
hilarious.
Reno's a listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
all
excited
the-
about Fakers. We just keep bringing people. We
Dude,
got
that's
Rachel
awesome.
coming now. The Wilhelms
Rachel's
are
coming.
coming.
There's a lot.
We
It's going to
got-
be packed.
We're,
and,
we're bringing
and like I
people
said,
in.
you'll
We got-
flip out
we
when
got-
you see how
we
You
got,
will enjoy the
band.
band.
For sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love everything.
Megan
Yeah.
Moves is all your sponsors.
Nice.
babe. We got
Oh, I love Megan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Megan's
so happy
coming.
she's
We got a
coming.
whole crew of people.
wait.
It's gonna be
All right,
awesome.
so
yeah.
am I good, Miss Katie?
We can come back around, but I know you're dying.
I usually we
You're gonna
like
ask
to
the
wrap it up.
question.
We always say it's wrapping it up, but it's not
You know,
always
it doesn't have to wrap it
up.
up, but I like
you
to
got?
wind it down with connecting through film.
Okay.
If you're a movie or television person, either one, just give me your top 3 to 5 of all time.
3 to 5.
And we can, take your time. Like
Yeah,
you
we
can
put
hover.
everybody on the spot, just so you know. We don't give anybody a heads up. So that's how we find out who listens to the
Right,
show
who
or not.
watches the show? Right. That's right.
So, okay, my answers are kind of going to a little bit be all over the place, but my favorite movie, speaking of Jack Black, is The Holiday.
Oh, wow.
I don't even really like rom-coms like that,
Right.
but The Holiday, I can watch that whenever.
I love
like,
Kate Winslet.
Oh
You
my
do?
god!
Did someone else say The Holiday? Didn't someone say?
No, I don't think so, but I think I talked about this. So I was watching an
like your
interview.
hall pass is Kate
One of the
Winslet.
reasons I love Jack Black is it was a couple years ago maybe, but he was doing an interview like on the red carpet or something, and they asked him what his favorite Christmas movie was, and he was like Elf, like hands down, and they're like, oh, that's cool. I was surprised you didn't say your own, and he's like, do I have a Christmas movie? And they were like, The Holiday, and he's like, oh. Right, The Holiday. Yeah, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Man,
even
The
remember.
Holiday
I was
is
gonna say,
great.
I don't even consider it really a Christmas. I know it's
Right.
called literally The Holiday, but that's
Yes.
because they're on vacation.
Yes.
Right.
But anyway, but it
Right.
happened.
But wait
yeah.
a minute, is it? It is. I guess it takes place during that time.
They
It's-
swap
Yes.
houses.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
which I think is just a
The
phenomenal
Holiday.
idea,
No,
actually.
nobody has said that. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
And then I love horror movies. I love
You're
horror
amongst
movies so much.
friends here.
And I don't
Slasher
know.
or demonic.
Demonic. I don't like
Good,
gore.
good.
I don't like gore.
We love Satan here. We don't love slashers. Like, it's too much. I mean, we don't love Satan. You know what? That's not true.
We love
I'm
demons.
saying, I'm more compelled by demon tales
Yeah.
on film.
So I'm like team the whole Conjuring. I love the
yeah.
Insidious. I love the Sinister. Like
have to
those
do
three.
it, babe.
I'm gonna like just wrap that up. That would be my whole
Yeah.
top 3. I just had to throw in the holiday
that's
because I
good.
do have a soul.
Right.
I am capable of loving people. I have
Yeah,
a
I
whole
dig it.
heart. I don't love just seeing people murdered. But like, yeah, I gotta be careful on that one because like you talk about dating, people are like, "You're into what?"
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this:
better.
did you see
It's
the?
his
Or
jam.
no, it's not out yet. The final Conjuring. Like, there's one.
We
that's-
need to go down this
Or it's
rabbit
called
hole,
The
babe.
Last something or other.
I don't.
There's one coming out, and it's either
And they're bringing
out,
back the actor.
and it's Patrick Wilson and the lady.
What are their
Claire.
names? Like the real people.
Yeah, what
The
are
Ed
Watsons,
Warren.
Ed
the
Warren,
Warrens,
Yeah.
the
the
Warrens.
Warrens, right? Ed and Lorraine Warren,
Yeah.
or whatever. But I believe that there's one coming out very soon, or it's out right now,
Yeah.
and it's the last one that they're going to make, and it's supposedly like the craziest tale the Warrens ever been through. Or,
Fantastic! I'm here for it. Like
Yeah, I know, that's
the
what I'm like,
Insidious
all right, I'm
Red
in.
Door was like the last one. And I thought that was so cool that they had like the original kids and the kids were grown up and the storyline and everything. Like I've loved those. I want Sinister to come back. Those
Let me tell you,
were freaky.
Well, I haven't seen Sinister 2. I like, not because I'm boycotting it, just because I'm a chump. But is it as good as the first one? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that shit was
I want to
really
watch
good.
them. I
Yeah.
need that. I think I
sorry.
need that kind of stress in my life.
You can do it anytime you,
You don't
want.
wanna do
You know
it?
I can't. This is
Yeah.
why I watch Love is
See,
Blind.
I know.
Right.
I come home and I
cannot
put The
handle it.
Conjuring on to relax.
Right. She's like, it's
You know,
comfort food.
yeah.
Have you watched Game of Thrones?
Yes. Well,
So
I
we
didn't
watch-
finish, but yes.
So we watched the first episode, and Jamie throws Bran out the window.
She's like, I'm like, I'm
she's
out.
like, all right, I'm done.
I said, that's the weakest
done.
part of the episode.
Out of a
That's
tower.
nothing.
Right, walking.
Christ,
right.
he lives.
no.
I was like,
He
you didn't,
lives.
you
I've
didn't,
heard-
you didn't care
I've
that he was
heard-
banging his sister right before that?
No,
Right.
no. You
Look,
throw a
who
kid out of the
amongst
tower,
us?
I'm out. Yeah.
No, Walking
You know how I
Dead.
am.
We went through
No.
The Walking Dead. So
Nope.
we got into season 2, and when the dude on the
Nope.
farm shot,
Through the deer, and it
shot
got the kid.
yeah,
Nope.
but I mean, well, he survives.
I don't
but,
care. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Breaking
But she
Bad.
was like, I'm done.
Breaking Bad. What happened in Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you remember why we
Oh,
stopped
the girl-
watching it?
he let the girl
He let the
die,
girl
yeah.
die. I couldn't take it. The air, the air traffic control
Yes,
thing
yes.
happened,
Yeah.
and I cannot handle it. Like I get so emotionally.
You're kind of like an empath.
Yeah, you
I
are.
am. I
Yeah.
truly am, and
You're
I
like
get
Julie
so,
from Sweet Lita. It's
Yeah.
so funny
Oh,
watching.
and I
If you
just love her.
Miss
For
Katie,
that
watch
reason.
the Sweet Lita episode.
Okay. I
And
love
Julie,
her.
the singer.
Okay.
It's so wild. Like she's going. Her husband's like, she's an empath, and I'm like, oh, and he's like, no, but I mean for real. Like, and she's like, yeah, I was watching Orange Is the New Black, and I thought, man, you know, if I ever went to prison, like I'd have to. I mean, if
Get
I
a
like
tattoo,
she's like she started worrying. She couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
She's like, if I go to prison, I'm gonna have to shank somebody the first day
Right.
because then what'll I do? And like she lost sleep the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she watched one episode.
This is me. This is me.
Right, and I guess
My
that's her.
preferred
That's 100%
method
me.
of scary movies is like I like to wait for the movie to be out in theaters for a little bit because then I will like watch and be like, okay, I think I want to go to the movies tonight, and I'll watch where you have to like purchase a seat, and I will make sure that there's nobody in that theater, and I'll buy one for myself so that I'm like the only one, or maybe
Good.
there's like another couple or. And that's my preferred method because I
Interesting.
want
So
to
you like
be
going
like
to see horror
that is
movies in the theater by
insane.
by
yourself?
myself with
I
nobody
mean,
else.
I go to see
Interesting.
movies by myself. I have. Yes.
Who goes to like his horror
horror
movie? I
movie,
would be
right.
freaking
That's like when,
out.
when people
like,
ask
freaking
you,
out.
they
Like,
say like, "What's one thing like by looking at you people would never know?"
Never
and I'm
know.
like, I'm obsessed with scary movies.
yeah.
You go.
Yeah.
I go solo to
Yeah.
scary
Right.
films.
Yeah.
What was the movie that I mean, it wasn't really scary, but like the first scene it was really dealing
Oh,
with
the
a very
alcohols.
a
The
sensitive.
alcohols were the soundtrack. It was the movie with
yeah, and
Army
it was
Hammer.
it was very sensitive. It was about
You watched it.
I don't remember the name.
substance, and in the very first scene you learn that like this woman is very distraught because her son succumbed to death due to substance. It was tragic, and it was in the very beginning of the movie, and I was like, I'm out. I cannot handle gore, murder, scariness, tragedy. Disney, like the first 5 minutes in a Disney movie when like, an animal
I was
dies,
gonna say, what do you
I'm
do
out.
about Bambi or
I
some
can't.
shit?
I can't do
mean,
it. He
yeah.
knows. Like I'm out. I cannot handle it. I know. I'll just get up and leave. I did that night. Like he was in the living room. I'm like, I'm gonna go upstairs. You can finish watching
So
this.
what do you like? Just like rom coms, or what do we
yeah,
like? Happy things.
anything
Well,
goofy. Yeah, like
I
Love
mean,
is
we're
Blind.
watching Justified, and Raylan Givens shoots people in the head
But
all
you know,
the time.
I'm like, but I've been
You like it
backing
because
away.
she loves Walton Goggins.
I do.
Everybody does.
But I
It's
do-
okay
but I
if
lo-
you're a
but-
hot murderer.
Right. If you have like
Then somehow I
abs,
can watch
right,
it.
Right. I can handle you.
But the fact that he's Boyd Crowder and Baby Billy.
Baby
is
Billy.
See,
fascinating.
that's
my
like
God.
Righteous
Righteous
Gemstones is my
Gemstones.
kind of jam, you know, or The White Lotus. Like I've watched all of The White Lotus. Like I can.
That
sit-
gets a little stressful. I got to
It
tell
is,
you. Like,
but you know, I'm not in Italy. It doesn't really affect me.
I'm
you
not
know,
going to
like,
the hotel.
Yeah.
I'm not at the hotel.
Miss
Yeah,
Katie,
so,
do you dig The Exorcist?
Yeah, I'm fine with those.
Yeah.
I like those three families that I named because like Conjuring, you also have like the Nun and the Annabelle and all
Right,
that
right,
stuff.
right.
And you know, like if somebody's like, oh, I want to watch a good movie, like you can send them in that family and like you're good. Like you know
Yeah,
they're
right.
gonna have a good experience.
funny. I
That's
love
the
it.
only thing. It's like I'll go and I'll see something. Like I remember from my childhood, like I know what you did last summer. The Leprechaun weirdly
Yeah,
really
yeah.
got to me.
Jennifer
and
Aniston.
the
So scary.
The Grudge.
Grudge. Yeah,
That
Sarah
one
Michelle
for the
Gellar.
longest time was like the scariest movie
The
that
Leprechaun
I had
with
seen.
Warwick Davis?
Yes, and Jennifer Aniston.
I
It was
can't.
just real weird, real weird. But
And I can't do. Didn't they just do another Final Destination?
Oh,
Yes.
I can't
Coming
handle
out.
that. No way.
No, every single time
way.
I'm on a highway and I'm behind one of those like trucks that has the logs, I'm convinced I'm gonna die.
Well, not
I
even that.
cannot
Just in the
handle
new
it.
trailer, they show like it's at the bar and they show a glass break and they show the glass fall in the ice box.
Oh,
and so
that's a
somebody's
real
obviously going to eat it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that could happen.
Yeah.
And I can't watch that because I'm afraid it's going to happen to me now.
no,
That's
totally.
why you order a drink in a bottle
Yeah.
or a can. Actually, let's just get rid of glass altogether. Yeah.
But I do need my vodka sodas at a bar. And they have to have ice in them. Like, can I just make sure? Yeah, just
No, it's
make
so
sure there's
scary.
no glass in there.
See, these are the things that I will freak out about,
Right.
and then I internalize it, and then I can't sleep.
All right, well,
But
that's-
things like the Conjuring and those movies make those movies are like, I believe that shit exists
For
like,
sure.
Yeah, well, that's what makes
Like
them
the,
so
the
compelling.
doll, like
right?
I see these reels every now and then pop up of them like moving the Annabelle case,
Right.
and it's like
Well,
it's
how
so
about-
creepy
isn't,
just
like,
watching them moving.
Was it Annabelle or is another haunted doll? I think it might be another haunted doll that is like right now on tour. And when they stopped in New Orleans, like wherever that was in tour, that whole building just burned down.
Oh, was it?
What
Okay.
the hell are you
All right.
talking about? No,
I
I
think
don't
it was
know about
Annabelle.
that.
Yeah.
Do you see the goosebumps?
Check it out, because there's another haunted doll that's on tour. Somebody was just telling me this, and I think it was the New Orleans was the
Yes.
city, and there was just they can't explain why there was a fire that was started,
Yeah, see, it's
and
just
it
not
had
good
been
business.
there.
I
Head to
mean, you
toe.
know,
Head to
like,
toe
leave well
goosebumps.
enough alone.
That's,
I mean,
that's
you
another
know,
reason why I love New Orleans so much. That
the
city's just
voodoo and the black
wild.
magic and all that kind of
the
shit.
Creole
Have you
stuff,
seen Sinners?
vampires.
Now this all makes
I
sense.
did.
Did you like it?
Not really.
So Amanda was on the fence about it. So Brian,
Is it okay that I can say I didn't really like it? Like, I
About
feel
it?
like
It's
everybody's
perfectly fine.
raving about it. I bought it last weekend and watched it or 2 weekends ago. Last
Yeah.
time I was at the beach, and I was like, "That's it."
What is it? What did you ask?
Sinners.
Sinners.
Sinners. Oh,
Because it
Great.
has.
you're the only one I've
I
ever
don't
met
even
that didn't
remember.
love it.
I know.
No, there's definitely people that don't like it.
I mean, I haven't
they
met anybody.
exist.
Ever,
She's not the
yeah.
only one.
I
Maybe it's
believe
good
you.
for people that don't like love scary movies. They can do like a little bit of scary.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, so
like
you're
the
saying it
musical
wasn't really
aspect.
scary.
so
and-
for
Well, I
me,
don't-
like,
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
I didn't love it. I couldn't even remember. I had to think about it until you said music.
What?
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
You didn't know what I was talking about?
I really honestly blacked it out of my brain.
I liked it as a vampire movie and a musical almost.
I didn't really love it.
But the lore of the blues
But-
lore is like heavily influencing in that movie.
yeah, I want to say
that
it. I mean,
nobody
I've
really
heard it
knows
was
about.
great.
Right.
This is weird though. We watched that movie on a Saturday night. I was
Yeah.
not that into it. Honestly, the 2 hours went by really quick, but at the same time, I was like, I can't get the time back. And the very
So there you go. You said she's the only one. Amanda's
I was
number
two.
two
two.
for it.
And
And
this
and so, but the next day we went to Hopkins Farm Brewery
Yes.
to see Feather and Flask,
Yes.
which amazing. They
Love
were here at the
Feather and
lounge.
Flask.
Phenomenal, like
Local
jam
band
band,
from
hippie
Havre de
band,
Grace.
amazing. And we were there, and there was a band there. It was like a little battle of the bands,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a band there that was playing that day that was in the competition, and they were playing this Mississippi. What do they call it? They had a name
The
for it.
Pied
like-
Monsters? The Piedmont Blues?
Yes,
That's
they were
Appalachian
yes.
Blues.
Yes, and they were talking about it being this like very
Yeah.
Mississippi, very like deep South, and it was so weird to me because I was kind of teasing him because I was like, "Oh my God, we were watching this movie last night. Like they're gonna conjure up these vampires."
Right.
I was like, "Look at," and meanwhile we're at a brewery. True story. We're at a brewery, and it was kind of raining, and there's a barn, and I looked at him and I was like, "What did we learn last night?" And he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "You don't leave the barn. Like if you
Yeah.
have to go into that barn, you don't leave the barn." And like I was like losing my mind.
Well, now there's
This is why I
memes like
can't watch
there's
these
memes like if you
Yeah.
come up to my house and you're like, "Can I come in?" I'm like, "No, you cannot come in."
This is why I can't watch
I know.
these
I'm like,
movies.
I've seen too many things with vampires, and I'm
Right.
like, again, yeah, I don't know. And I'm sure there's like, to your point, like there's so many different like storylines and meanings, and it was
Yeah.
done probably so creatively and theatrically and wonderfully.
Right,
But
but-
I wasn't scared.
So apparently, I don't know how true this is,
Right,
but
I was just like, don't leave the barn.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan, hey, what's up? Call me.
I know.
Answer my DM.
Apparently, I don't know how true it is, but I think he's making 6 more movies.
Sinner?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
I don't know.
it's a universe that he's created.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I don't know if
to
it's
see it.
true
I
though.
mean,
I just saw like a reel about it, and
it
there was
did.
timelines.
It did well
with,
enough that
with
they're
names.
probably,
Oh, yeah.
if they had brains, they would try to franchise.
Yeah,
it. I mean,
and the cool
Yeah.
thing, like I didn't realize like it wasn't like the Michael B. Jordan thing was not a split screen.
No.
He wore this camera that like took 3-dimensional
Okay,
and
see, that's
they
interesting.
projected it on a stuntman that was acting with
Oh,
him.
I didn't think that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't just
interesting.
straight split screen. Like he was doing the acting, but it was almost like I guess Rogue One, like Moff Tarkin kind of thing,
I
and
got
Leia,
you.
like where they brought Carrie Fisher back.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
But I mean, some obvious. That's the scenes when they're on screen together, not like obviously.
I'm going to watch it.
All of it.
I can't wait. So, any other honorable mentions there, Miss Kane?
Yeah, because she kind of put horror.
Well,
yeah,
you know,
I
in
put them all
one.
together.
So we
I
got
also,
holiday.
Yeah, we're doing like categories
Horror.
now.
Yeah, no,
the
that's fine.
subcategory to the holidays. I love Notting Hill.
Oh, wow.
I think Julie Roberts is just so beautiful in that, and the love story's cute. I think when I put like
Was that Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Grant.
Yeah,
Or
Grant.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Grant. Yeah, right.
the other one.
Notting Hill. Right. Close.
That one iconic moment where she's like, and I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to. So when I announced my Love Is Blind thing, I said like, I'm just a girl standing in front of a wall asking to
nice.
love me. So I did that, and then I love like the 10 things I hate about you.
Oh,
like,
that was great.
The Freddie Prinze Jr.
She's
you know
all
what?
that.
She's all that.
Loved it.
So we had to
Rachel
plan our
Wise.
weddings, and like we needed to pick like our first dance and like your whatever songs, and I picked some stuff from those movies because it's like iconic teen love
Yeah.
movies.
Right.
Yeah,
Wait,
apparently I am
Circle
a,
back to
a
that. You had
rom-com.
during the show, you had to plan your wedding in advance.
Yeah, so prior to like that was part of like the big old packing list. Is like you had to
the pre-production, if you will.
yeah.
Wow.
So like you had to really give some thought to like if you had a wedding, who you're inviting, or what kind of florals, or what's like your vibe, or have you ever thought about your dress? You had to get your ring size, things
So
like
you
that.
had to bring literally everything to the table.
Well, it was a
That's
very stressful
insane.
time because I'm still somebody who hasn't really put any thought into that. So like I remember I was driving into work one day and I'm like I got to pick a father-daughter dance song. I put on Spotify. Don't do that. I cried the whole way to work. I'm like butterfly kisses. I can't.
Right.
Like I can't pick anything that would have any type of emotional for me and my dad because I'll lose it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I mean, being a married man, I don't think. I mean, I had things to do with the wedding. I had decisions to make. But did they do that to the men also, or was it just
I believe
the women?
so. You know, I've never asked,
Yeah,
but I
that's a
believe
good
so.
question.
I believe
That's a
so.
good question.
Because I
Yeah.
probably would be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
the guys would be like, "Well, we just get married,
Oh,
right?"
fun fact actually about
Yeah.
our wedding, our rehearsal dinner, and he didn't know this, but I had everybody show up in Ravens jerseys.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, because
Yep.
he had nothing to do with anything, and I kind of felt that about it.
Like that got to be his
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. What's that mean?
Like,
Like,
just you didn't
weren't
plan. You didn't
planning,
help her plan.
You weren't like,
yeah.
yes,
Right.
yes, yellow
Yeah.
and pink and orange. That sounds amazing. And Gerber daisies. And yeah, you didn't have anything
It
to
would
do
have
with
been
any
like
of that.
purple and black with the accent of red.
I did pick our wedding song.
You did pick our wedding song. You
a
did.
great
Yep,
song.
absolutely. But like that was our rehearsal dinner, and I remember having it. We were at Liberatories, and I sent out a message, and everybody showed up in Ravens
That was
gear.
cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I'm committing that to my.
I know, right? Sometimes those pictures will pop up, and we're like, "Wait, what were we doing?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, it was our rehearsal dinner." So, and the irony of it all is we got married in April, so it wasn't like it was even season. Like we were just having a Ravens party.
love that.
Yeah,
We have some cool Ravens
yeah,
stories.
it was fun.
Well, in 2000,
We drove to Miami.
when the
10 of us.
last game of the season,
Yeah.
we were watching it at the Green Turtle in Westminster, and we won the game and went to the playoffs. First
We-
game was a wild card game in Miami.
Won the game,
And
and because we
all-
had all been at the Green Turtle having some adult beverages, it seemed like a phenomenal idea to buy tickets.
Yeah, our friend Mara lives in Fort Lauderdale. She was up visiting, so we were all just like, we all bought
We're
tickets.
going to Miami.
I don't
We're
know
gonna
how
stay
we
here
bought
Seems
one-
tickets.
reasonable.
You're
We
one
didn't
of
have-
the-
did we have iPhones?
I have no.
I don't know how we bought tickets, but we definitely bought. Somebody had like a smartphone, and we bought
Must have.
tickets.
Yeah.
So Mara had this little
Mercedes.
terrier, a little like rat terrier named Mercedes that just passed away at
R.I.P.
18.
He was old.
Sheesh.
She.
Yes,
Yeah.
she. Sorry.
So
yes, we have boy dogs. I
we
forget
all
about it, yes.
carpooled. Mara flew down the next day, and we all took Mercedes with us and cannonball runned it down to Florida.
We
got
sure
to her
did.
apartment and just all jumped in the pool. And she arrived the next day.
Yeah.
That's
then we
when
went
you
to that game.
That's when
And
you
then-
jumped in the pull with your phone?
No. That was a Mexico wedding.
That was the meet me at the Stalter
No,
wedding.
but the story gets funny because we got tickets in the like Raven section, but accidentally in the no alcohol section.
It was the family fun section.
Our
which
tickets
was
were in the
not
family fun
in
section,
Miami.
which we did not.
That was a
we
bad
did not.
branding.
We did not adhere to that
Remember
role.
my
We had to go
brother's
sit
seat
across.
was across the aisle somehow,
He was the
and
only
he
one
was,
that could
like, in the
drink
normal
legally.
section.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that, to be
It was
honest.
the wildest thing. It was
the
family fun
zone
section
at a wild
Yeah.
card playoff game, and you
were not allowed to drink
We
alcohol.
had to go like into the concourse to drink,
Yeah.
and we could not bring them back
Yeah.
to our seats. It was wild.
Yeah.
But I think we ended up doing it, and people were getting pissed
Yeah.
off at us. And like Ravens fans were like, "We're not going to defend you guys if you got in a fight." We're like, "We're not getting in a fight. We just
yeah.
want to drink."
Right.
Like,
We're
we're not
trying to have
assholes.
fun. We just drove here. Yeah.
But it was a
And
great game.
There were 10 of us that went down there, and we went and stayed in my girlfriend's 2-bedroom condo in
Oh my God.
Like
in
10 of
Fort
us.
Lauderdale.
Great
yeah,
times.
it was wild.
I love
Yeah.
stories like that.
Yeah.
It was wild. We were season ticket holders for a minute, and our son plays soccer, and there's just so much going
Yeah.
on. It just became very complicated. But we were season ticket holders. There was a deal after the pandemic, and they were offering healthcare workers really great deals on PSLs, and it was kind of one of those moments that we were like, let's just do this and see how it works out. And I think for 3 seasons we had three seasons we had tickets, and we had a blast, and we ended up letting them go just because it was too much and the kids and stuff. But it was fun.
I used to know Mike Singletary too when he was here.
You have his pants.
Was that prior to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I always say that you have Mike
I did work for
Singletary's
him
pants.
too when I did like AV work for him. So like I would go to his house like all the time. I remember one season. I don't remember. Maybe it was the first season he was here, or maybe no, it wasn't the first season he was here. But I sat and watched the game with him in his bedroom, like on his couch, like love seat, and I'm like sitting there like. You're Mike Singletary. And I'm like,
He's like, I know.
99% sure that there was like a
Love seat with
defensive
me.
playbook like in the
Oh, for
vicinity,
sure.
and I was just like, dude, that is like, that's the Bible
Yeah.
sitting in front of me.
Gold.
Like if he
just about to
leaves, I
say that.
might look at that, but I never did. But he
That's
would give me
awesome.
tickets, so I'd sit in like the player's wife's skybox with his wife sometimes. And it was a blast. And then when he left to go to San Francisco with Mike Nolan, with Mike Nolan, he invited me to his house and like just threw a pile of clothes on the ground. He's like, "Here."
All this
So I
Ravens
just took
gear.
all Mike Singletary's clothes,
I'm
and
sure there's a lot
I
of
still
stuff.
have like these purple pants I usually wear on game day, which are kind of too big. Because he's taller than
They're like
and
your-
he's Mike
they're your most
Singletary,
comfy
like
pants.
arguably the greatest linebacker of all time in the argument with Ray Lewis, and it's like my prized possession.
That's
It's
awesome.
Mike Singletary's
That's really cool.
pants.
That is true.
And we have friends, like some friends of ours are from Chicago, and they're just like, "What do you mean you wear Mike Singletary's pants when you watch random games?" I'm like, "That's what I do."
Yeah, it's a Baltimore through and through right there.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Katie, do you
Yeah.
have anything you want to plug or anything before we wrap up, like your social media accounts or anything like that? I mean,
Nothing really to plug. If you guys want to follow along in this crazy journey of saying yes to everything people DM me about,
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part, except for the
right,
creepy.
for Christ's sake, right.
Were you in Patterson Park?
Right,
No.
Right, don't
Wait, did you
DM.
say they sent a picture in the DM,
No,
or just said I
they
saw
just-
you?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a picture.
So
that's
Yeah.
No, that'd be
That's
yeah,
the-
that'd
That
be
would be
next
real
step.
fucked
Yeah,
up. If they were like, "Is this you?" and an
Right,
outline
yeah.
picture.
So creepy.
But no, I mean, all my socials are KBO15 _ So keep it easy. KBO.
All right.
Yeah, and then us, we have a lot of things going on. Like I said, we're supporting the city in any way we can. We sponsor the WTMD event calendar. So we have what's happening Baltimore.com, which is our event calendar. We're trying to kind of recreate what the city paper used to be, where you would just open that to find out what's going on everywhere. We're trying to just build a sponsorship, build a following, and spread the good word. But what's happening Baltimore, if you're into music, you can go see where any local art shows, really anything. Like
Comedy.
we can put,
Nice.
Yeah,
like if you have
anything
events on there that you want to promote.
I was
we
gonna
can
say,
throw
if
them
you're
on
doing
there,
anything right, like
Yeah.
you can get on there.
like
Definitely keep
it's
you guys
very
in mind.
cool.
Yeah.
And we have a newsletter that I send out once a week with all the things that are going on.
Yeah, the idea
else?
is like if people come to the city, the first thing they see is Sanity Lounge, what's happening in Baltimore? And it's like if you're driving in an Uber and they're like, what are you doing tonight? And they're like, I don't know. They'll be like, well, check out what's happening in Baltimore.
This calendar
and just
you
type
will
in
find out
what
what's
you want
going
to
on.
do,
Yeah.
and anything you want will
Yeah.
show up.
Smart.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Smart.
And
So-
it's getting out there, and it's we all the bands that come in here, we support them, and we've had 18 or 19 different
lot,
bands
yeah.
in here,
Great.
all local between here and Annapolis.
And we've got heavy hitters
Yeah,
coming
they're
in.
so
Natalie
good,
Brook
yeah.
Band. We just had Mr.
Yeah.
VCR. They were fucking incredible.
That's awesome.
Hopefully, we've got Q from the Ravens coming in. We got John Rollo coming in
Yeah.
from Shogun Fights.
Yeah.
Mickey Coachella. So we've
Mickey
got a lot
Coachella's
going
coming
on.
in Monday,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be wild.
Lots
but,
happening.
You know, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know, we really
I
do.
appreciate you
And
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invite.
No,
I
it's
appreciate
so
it, yeah.
fun to talk to somebody that's just been
In
doing
it.
something that
Yeah.
you're into,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
like, cause
In it.
I don't know, it's
It's
just a
good
really
stuff.
fun thing,
It
you
is.
know, it's
It
fun to
is.
hear about stuff behind the scenes and what really goes on and be able to ask those questions and just be, I don't know, like get a little bit of knowledge about how things really work
Yeah.
because I don't know, it's just so fun, at least for
Well,
me.
it's rare to
Yeah, you
have
know,
an
right.
option to look into that.
Yeah,
you know, so-
absolutely.
and it's
And
also,
just-
I mean, the Ravens are an institution, just like the Orioles here, man. It's a,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a sports town.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Absolutely.
awesome. And it's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we will see you at Fagers. I'm telling you,
I
if you
think she'll
come
be
to
I
there.
really, I
Fagers
really will
next
come.
week,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
as
don't
long as
think she's
I'm
saying
in town. I've
Yeah.
got this crazy shower renovation happening right
Yeah.
now. So as long as we don't go into next week and I can get down to the beach, I'm there.
I totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm there 17 times, so if it's not this time, you know, just look
No,
on the
it's going
calendar.
to be this time.
It'll be this
It's
time.
a whole thing.
Yeah.
We're all going to be there.
But look, we really appreciate
Yeah,
you.
well, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, man.
Thanks
And
for
tell
coming.
tell your friends about the show. Tell the
sure.
boys.
Yeah.
Tell the
Yes.
tell Lamar to check out the show. You
Be like,
know.
hey, we had Katie, and
Go-
like I heard you're like the second best thing at the Ravens.
Right,
so
right,
if
right.
you're
You got nothing to do.
Come on.
Tell
Right.
Steve to watch the show.
Yeah.
Right, tell
him to
Stevie
come to the
Machete.
lounge.
Yeah,
Right.
let's get Steve in.
Right.
Get him
He thinks he's got a nice play. Come on.
Yeah.
I know. Get
let's
him
do
in,
this.
you
I
know?
don't think we can have. This was a question. I don't know if you can even answer this, but I don't think we could technically, like, even if they wanted to. Ravens. I mean, players are like under certain contracts. Like, we probably couldn't have like a current player just come in here and talk, could we?
that would be on their own.
Yeah.
Like,
It is. They
it'd be the
can't-
same
they-
as like messaging me and be like, hey,
Right.
would you want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
yeah.
could say yes or they could say
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But there's no
Interesting.
contract restrictions.
No, I don't believe so. No, I mean the only thing like they might have something like let's say they do like they host a radio show or they have their own podcast
Yeah,
or things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. That could be competing, but normally no. That's
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be like, we can't talk about this.
Right. They'll be like, don't bring up
Sure.
so and so.
I feel that.
Yeah. No, I was
Yeah.
wondering about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I feel that.
Well, we appreciate you. This is wonderful. Tell your friends and stay sane, Baltimore.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just like that.
cool.
Thanks for listening, Baltimore. You can find us at www.sanitylounge.com or on Instagram at sanity.lounge.
Keep listening and subscribe.
Stay sane, Baltimore.